let's do a cheers to the Sobeys Safeway Liquor Beer for the podcast.
We ride again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
Check-in, come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello.
It's not static, AM radio.
It's the Cool Ben Red Hot Nielson Show. Let's go. Everybody tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromala intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. Let's crack a 6 o'clock and lager with some sirloin bites.
Step inside Rogers Place. Play La Bamba, baby.
Play the mama, baby.
We're a dangerous team when we're rolling, and we're healthy, and we are healthy.
Cup is on the line, baby, come and get it done. 16 wins, yeah, they're going on a run. Looking to advance, going deep in the dance. Hop on the bandwagon, let's hear the fans. The fans.
Special place to play, honestly. So much history, these fans. It's great to hear their sport.
Razzling and a dazzling every single night. Clubs coming up, baby, gonna be a fight. 6 games, 5 games, how about a sweep? Ticket prices, yeah, they're gonna be steep, yeah! Yeah! Come on! It's the playoffs! Crank it up! It's the playoffs! Take the cup! Let's go win the Stanley! Gotta get the cup! Let's go win the Stanley! Come on, lift it up! Let's go win the Stanley! Waited long enough. It's time. No more wait for the oil. It's the fate, yeah. Hey! Hey! Listen. First gear, second gear, third gear, go. McDavid 97, he's a one-man show. Dry saddle, Iverson, gotta love the nude. Bruce Skinner and picks need to be huge. Be huge. Be huge. They gotta squeeze a little, squeeze a little, squeeze a little more. Get the bottom 6 to find a way to score. One time, overtime, gotta find a way. Jam-packed mosh pit going insane. Yeah! Yeah! Cheer a little more. It's the playoffs. Crank it up. It's the playoffs. Take the cup. Let's go win the Stanley. Gotta get the cup. Let's go just a forward named Matt who plays for the Flames. A punk or a coward, a few of his names. He likes shooting and scoring and hits in the back. And when you're not looking, that's when he'll attack. He runs with his gloves, they're glued on his hands. Now it's pretty clear he's hated by fans. But sometimes that just ain't enough to keep a rat like him interested.
Oh, no.
No way. No, he's got to go out and take runs at someone else's expense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He makes dirty hits we don't want in the game, then covers up his head and hides in shame. He's a turtle. 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 He aims for your back and then leaves his feet, while George and the league are saying, hey, that's sure neat. He's a turtle. 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 He ducks and he runs to much safer spaces, while players with a sack are getting punched in their faces. He's a turtle. 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 Maybe we shouldn't be singing this song with Dowdy and Cassian singing along. Maybe he'll fight and prove us all wrong. Nah, he's a turtle. 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 He's a turtle.
When you need a vet to be a threat, you can bet he'll fill the net. He's Perry, Corey Perry. He can score, he's scary. Corey Perry, he's a prick, but you know he does the trick. He's won the heart, he's won the cup. He just keeps going, won't give up. He'll knock you down, the fans will shout. You round, you will find out. It's Perry, Corey Perry. He can score, he's scary. Corey Perry, he's a prick, but you know he does the trick. When you need a vet to be a threat, you can bet he'll fill the nets. Is he Harry, Corey Perry? He can score, he's scary. Corey Perry, he's a prick, but you know he does the trick.
Good night, golden nights. It's a gentleman's sweet. Good night, golden nights. Cup and put you to sleep. You'll never be a winner, 'cause you can't beat Stuart Skinner. Good night, golden nights. Oh, it is so sweet.
.6:13 Friday morning, the morning of Game 2, Dave Jamieson.
No way.
You are listening to the Nielson Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, presented by South Fort Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot. And, of course, EST, presenting sponsor, Play Alberta. Some news coming up on Play Alberta that you want to check out here a little later on, including the play codes here that we have as well. Yeah. You can catch us on the iHeartRadio app as usual, the TuneIn Radio app, and of course on YouTube where the Nasty Chat's already bumping as it does on a Friday morning. Hit that like button, hit the thumb up button, 30 away from 100. Gotta love that. And subscribe as well. It is sub season, as we like to call it around here. Our pursuit of 12.7K subs continues. So if you are new to the channel, new to the station, new to the show, hit the sub. and then you'll be up to date and know everything that's going on related to EST and the Nielson Show. Big day, lots of stuff going on. Last night in the world of sports, setting up to be a very, very nice weekend as well. Great morning out there as well, boys. Hey, like the weather, like I'm just saying.
Nice for you for a stroll.
19 degrees. Like it had a bit. There was a hint of a breeze on the air, but
got to check in on
nice
some of the
warm.
denizens of the night that you run into.
All the locals on the street there that I saw. One guy was wearing an orange brimmed kind of safari hat. Mm-hmm. He was emptying a Loris, like just rifling stuff out, but then also kind of doing like this dance to the cars passing. And he was a jolly fellow, and I tipped my guy. I said,
the best
morning to
people
you.
are out at this time of day.
Hey, it's that twilight. Yeah. You're in the in between zone. Yeah. Dave Jamieson is well in for Dustin Nielsen. It's been
final day today.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
and
back at you.
Thank you so much for you know what over there. That was totally unnecessary, but
it was entirely necessary. A little, just drink responsibly.
Yeah, I know my drink sense.
Yes. You do.
780-218-9999 is the number to text the Paris Jewelers inbox. But once again, Dustin will be back Monday. He's got the call tonight in Montreal, Argonauts and Alouettes, as he'll be taking a little bit of time off here or there on the weekends for the CFL and TSN, but we'll have a cavalcade of guest hosts, including yourself. Maybe Wyshynski will even pop in at one point.
God, that was fun yesterday.
Well, cool. Yeah.
What was the reaction like from the
people
Nasties?
love it. One guy was like, "It's weird seeing Wyshynski in real life." when you watch before on YouTube and he's on the screen, now he's here but on the screen.
Yeah.
So it's a different thing. But I mean, it was nice to have him. It's nice to have him in studio. I mean, we do it for Beer of the Week the odd time and such.
Which we'll do later.
Yes, via video link. But it was nice to see Wyshynski here. And again, thank you so much for filling in this week. And Dustin Nielsen will actually be joining this show later this morning, if you can believe it.
Can't stay away. That is the sign of somebody that loves his audience so much. It's an unbreakable bond.
He just wants to talk a little CFL week one.
Did you guys miss me?
I think that. Yeah,
I mean, I know what Dusty's thinking as he sits there in the Ramada or wherever he is.
When he joins the show later this morning, he's going to host for those 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And then we'll go back to that, and then we'll just come back to whatever. YouTube Trev as well in the chair this morning. He'll be providing you with sports updates. What game 2 vibe check, Trev? What are you plans tonight? Tommy Gazzola, of course, downtown Canadian Ice House. He'll be there for the GCL Diesel pre and post game shows coverage starting at 5. With Glorious Sons and Triumph in the background. Hey,
oh yeah, right. What time do the bands hit the stage? I know that it opens at 3.
Arkells were on at 4 the other day, so that would probably be.
All right.
Do you have interest in any of those musical groups? Or does that
Glorious Sons
tweak your nipple a bit?
I saw them back home in Lethbridge, actually.
Yes?
Yeah, a really good band there. So vibes are great. Vibes are feeling really good. Not nearly as nervous today. Just excited. It's a Friday, game day Friday, so we can celebrate for this one. We can have a little fun during this game, and I'll be watching it with the former roommates. So I think we'll be hitting the town.
Going out, not a house party, but going out.
Yeah, we're going out.
Good.
I think.
Yeah,
we'll find a local establishment. I'm sure. Maybe find our way to see Tommy. Who knows where the night will take us, boys?
That's a good. It's nice to have a plan, but not a specific.
Yeah, don't get boxed in.
We're going out.
Yes.
Either tonight or in life.
Okay.
Always have an exit strategy.
Yeah.
You know what I like about game 2 and 3 and 4?
Your favorite
and 5
game
and
of a
6 and
7-game
7?
series is 2. You love a game 2.
I've always been a big game 2
The 2 biggest
guy.
words in sports. Game 2.
Is that now we can put, at least for a moment, all of that stuff, the build-up and the analysis, and now it's just about the hockey. Play, please.
And really, coming out of game 1, both of these teams, there's really no... Like, they brought it. This is
it's not, oh boy, I sure hope that, the Panthers find their stride. No, it's been found.
Yeah.
And same with the Oilers.
And I mean, I guess you could argue that Tkachuk wasn't as visible as you'd think, and maybe that's Kane neutralizing. But again... We got what we hoped for in that game 1. They're both going to run it back. Do it again. Keep doing it. Again, this is a series about blinking, I think, and who blinks the least. But again, it should be great. And the Oilers, of course, as Trev pointed out, getting that first one really kind of takes the nerve down, and where you can just now get excited. Friday, 22 degrees for a high today. Doesn't look like there's any rain or anything like that in the forecast. So should be a good night to get out and mosey around town. Once again, 780-218-9999. The Paris Jewelers inbox. Might as well just do this little ditty as well, since it's a Friday and we're feeling a little free and frisky.
It's the Bling Box. It's the Bling Box. It's the Paris Jewelers Inbox. And they got lots of fancy, shiny things. Look at this, look at that. Not just for the ladies. They got jewelry for men, too. The ring box, the bling box. It's the Paris Jewelers Inbox.
Do you have a Prince Albert or that type of thing? You can get it all. Chains, the whole bit. I shop there. I got. I've gotten my wife Danny, as you know, a few nice gifts in the past from Paris Jewelers. Very good, good staff, and they help you out. And a good price as well. Solid, flexible payment options, solid and flexible at the same time. You can have both. Do not pay for 1 year. Huge selection of engagement rings, wedding bands on sale now. You can shop in stores Edmonton area, West Edmonton Mall, Kingsway, Londonderry, Sherwood Park Mall, and St. Albert Centre, or online, parisjewelers.com, Canadian and family owned. And, of course, your best text today will be off to A&W. You get $20 to A&W for text of the day. A&W drive-thrus open 24 hours a day, serving both breakfast and lunch. Be like Mike from Calgary yesterday with that outstanding Wyshynski Mule Eric Francis text, I should say.
I must
he
have
thought
been
the mule
unaware.
was Eric Francis.
I'm aware. I'm aware now that I clearly was out of step. I did not know there was a beef between Wyshynski and Francis.
There was another one on Twitter yesterday. I don't know if you saw it.
With whom? Who
You're not up to on the old.
Well, I check in infrequently.
Yeah, you're more about the Marcus Crandall retirement contracts. That's for your.
Yeah, I'm a gentler kind of participant in X. So who's beefing?
I think it's the president of the United States and the South African billionaire guy. Yeah, that people like to talk about.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I mean, hey, look, it's none of my business. I was going to weigh in, but I.
What have we told you? Stick to.
Sports.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Keep dribbling. This text, Paris Jewelers inbox, unsigned. Dustin Nielson, serious CFL insider, not to be confused with the jokester host, Dusty Nielson. So
is that the guy?
Trev, when you bring him on bring him on as CFL insider, if you could, on the crying there or whatever it is.
Two different people.
Yeah. Library Pat says the mystery guest yesterday was top drawer. I couldn't catch that part of the show live, but found it as soon as the podcast dropped. Greg is the new version of Bob Stauffer. Shows up live on EST, but only when Nielsen isn't there. Well job to all three of you for this week's shows. An integral part of my morning's Library Pat. Can we get an old conch for LP there? Nice text. Bob Stauffer joined us on the hangout in Vegas as him and Jack were walking by through the hotel lobby. And it was like you call it a slap and tickle. This was just a slap. There was no tickle. He just came in, plopped down, and away we went.
Dropped some hard knowledge, tree planting story.
Not even.
Reference.
It was just
DK.
Yeah. I think it was a hello, good morning, and then, Gretz. Yeah. And people still talk about it to
Love
this day.
stuff.
Yeah.
Bob Cajun.
Bob Cajun. Troll says, big W for your Riders last night. I am not a owner of the team as one of the community ownership members.
An active supporter.
Yes, as I mentioned, lots of stuff going on in sports. We'll get to that right now with the morning announcements. We do have the Crack Pack coming up this hour as well, just to quickly go over the show. And once again, this show will be heavy hockey Oilers related. Yes, we'll be going to the CFL, Dave. You're cracking a 2017 pack. I'm 2018. I got Trev. I think it's OPG, hey? I think it's OPG, yeah. I don't know what year, though.
I got Upper Deck here.
Yeah, Upper Deck, yeah. 25, perfect. So, Crack Pack later on this hour. But once again, we will be focusing on Game 2. Don't worry, but we do have a few other things in sports that need discussing. Yes. Kris Johnston, TSN, and The Athletic. Reporter Kris on the X. He'll join us 7:05. Always good to hear from him on a Friday. The Play Alberta Early Bird, courtesy Dustin Nielsen. We'll be discussing that, plus a little bit of a gift from Play Alberta that you can, perhaps win by the end of the show today. So stay tuned for that. The Fan Zone 7:30. That's good. Italian Center 7:40. Trivia, 3 questions to kick off hour 3. An orange and blue breakfast to take a deep analytical dive into tonight's game. You like the... You can queue up natural stat trick and get me the...
And have you...
just run me the numbers.
Just give you numbers.
Run the numbers. I just want them right in my face.
You got
it. Dustin Nielsen, live from Montreal, CFL Insider. Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week, and the wrap for William Huff. But the morning announcements for 100.3 The Bear, Edmonton's best rock. Of course, Yukon McCord in the morning. Bree and Jess Jackson taking you home. Yes, CFL Week 1 last night. You asked me how it was, and from a nonpartisan point of view, a great football game to kick off the season.
And you know what? And a good presentation. Like the panel there. We're told, and
they have a new score. Yeah, that was nice and clean on the broadcast. Yeah.
That TSN is investing a little bit more or a lot more. I don't know the numbers involved in the production because it needs to get fresh.
Yeah. So TSN's doing that. Stuart Johnston, formerly of now with the league, I think he's bringing. So I think those two things coming together at the same time are only going to be good. 31-26 Riders over the Redblacks. Ottawa with a bit of a second half push. Couple of injuries for the Roughriders there in that one as well. But tonight, Friday Night Football, which again, something new on the broadcast tonight with the Friday night. Have you seen all this and heard it?
No, I haven't. I've heard nothing.
I think you'll love it.
Nothing.
And I know you're a hardened traditionalist in your...
No, that would be a mischaracterization.
I know.
Yes.
Anything but.
Right.
But I think when you talk about the CFL, sometimes people do not like change. There is some aspect of the fan base. But tonight, Friday Night Football... Dustin Nielson on the call. New production. New take on the Friday Night Football theme. I like it.
Good.
And I do like the old, I like the old Sky. Don't mess.
I know you like John Wells and Leif Pedersen, may rest in peace, and all that.
Give me that call on a 35-degree afternoon.
Yes.
Hamilton, Calgary, tomorrow, first half of a doubleheader, and of course the Elks and the Lions Saturday, 8 o'clock from Vancouver. You can join Maddie and Milne for the Green and Gold kickoff show as well, 7 o'clock Saturday night. That's the CFL look. We did have another game one, not of the CFL season, but of the NBA final last night, in which Tyrese Halliburton, man, if I can borrow from Davis Alexander comparison, a gamer.
Yes, but Indiana should not have won if you looked at the turnovers.
No, they
in the first half.
They were record-setting.
That should lose you a game.
Yeah.
Was it the most number of turnovers since
in
the
a
New
first
Jersey
half?
In the first half.
In the digital age.
In the digital age. What that means, I don't know. But yeah, it was pretty remarkable.
Yeah, I mean, Pacers finding a way again. They've been doing this all playoffs long. And Halliburton, I mean, big-time players, right, in big moments. And that's, I think you don't have to be great all the time. And I'm kind of, here's a Stuart Skinner kind of comparison. But if you show up when you're called upon in a moment, and you don't always know when those moments will be.
How do you get an aura as an athlete?
An aura,
you do stuff like that.
Yes, yeah. So Tyrese Halliburton connecting, I think it was, 0.3 seconds left to get the win on the road, again, for the Pacers. So they take a 1-0 series lead in OKC. Game 2 goes Sunday at 6. So they're taking
load management.
You wanted a week off between games, didn't you?
Well, that'd be in keeping, right, with the new NBA. Right. We're going to pause here for a week, let the teams go back to their home cities.
And then they have the in-season, post-season tournament during that week off.
Yeah, just to confuse the
Hornets
hell out of you.
taking on the
for some
Bobcats.
Reason. Yeah, for some reason.
Sure, yeah. Elsewhere, the Blue Jays spanking the Phillies 9-1. They're in Minnesota later this evening to kick off a 3-game weekend set, so we'll be keeping an eye on that. The Jays taking 2 of 3 from the Phillies after dropping the opener. Riverhawks as well. They did. Trev, you'll have more updates on the sports aspect of it, but Riverhawks and both Cactus Rats. A bit of a delay as well with the Cactus Rats in terms of their stadium construction out in Spruce Grove, a.k.a. Energy City, if you will. So that's been pushed back. You can check their socials. I believe they're aiming for an early July opening date, but that might be moving again. But the Cactus Rats playing their home games out of Sylvan Lake and the Gulls Ballpark. And just going over the schedule here, June 6th today, Energy City in Lethbridge, Trev, at Old Spitz Stadium. First pitch, 7:05 tonight against the Lethbridge Bulls. The Cactus Rats falling to the Lethbridge Bulls 6-2 last night. And the Riverhawks, they got the win last night. I haven't even checked out the score yet, to be honest with you. The clean sweep, Dave, of your Victoria Harbor Cats.
Well, we knew the Harbor Cats were going to struggle.
You're in a rebuilding phase.
Yes, you're in a rebuilding
cyclical,
phase.
Right? Yeah, it's cyclical.
Always.
The Bellingham Bells are in town for a 3-game weekend set beginning tonight from Remax. So I had a friend from out of town. He's in town for a lawyers conference, and he's staying.
Oh, those are fun.
Well, I'm like, where are you staying? He's like, Chateau Lacombe. Meanwhile, we got the NHL media out here. That's why. Like, somebody said there's some conferences that were booked, and the intern wrote down the wrong date to. Oh, geez, this is the Cup Final week too. So, anyways, he's staying down. He's like, tell me more about these Riverhawks. He's like, can I just walk up? So he walked down there by himself. And he goes, this is a great product. He texted me. I said, yes, I concur. So
They've won the hearts and minds of people
River
in
Hawk
this city.
Fever is alive and well, and it looks like they've got a pretty good team, at least against Victoria. So that's kind of your, of course, RBC Canadian Open round 2 action. As I said yesterday in the hangout, it just would be nice on this weekend. Oilers play tonight. They don't play again until Monday. There's no Formula 1. NBA, as we heard, Game 2 Sunday. It'd be nice to just have a Canadian in this Canadian Open field that during the weekend
you want to follow.
I just like having having the golf on low volume, doing things, and you walk by the
and you go, oh.
and you give it a glance. But to have a Pendrith tied for 8 right now, 5 under opening round. So it'd be nice to see. You're high on Thorbjorn Olesen, are you not, Trev? That's your guy you're pulling for, hey?
Getting him on the update there, but he's tied for first right now with Cameron Champ from America.
Yeah, the American
I like
and the
it when
Dane.
Tube hits a name he's never seen before.
Well,
you can hear him like prior to the show. We'll take people behind the curtain. Tube is working on many things.
If and when you breed, promise me this, and I don't ask you for a lot, I hope not, but name your firstborn,
That'll be a
male
contender.
or female.
That'll be a contender.
Torbjorn.
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 Torbjorn, get over here.
Or name one Tor and the other Bjorn.
Okay, Tor and Bjorn. Get over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Promise?
I will.
Yeah.
I promise. Yeah, no, I like the name. It's different. I have to look it up.
I'm sort of caught up in YouTube breeding and just trying to imagine.
You
what's
like that, eh, breeding?
Yeah.
When you sire a child.
I haven't used that when I breed. But,
Yes.
Smith TM14 in the nasty chat. I'm going to try to. There's a lot of emojis in the nasty chat today. I don't know what. Smith TM14 sharp new TSN score bug. Yes, that's what it.
Yeah, that's the score bug.
And it is sharp. It looks nice. It's not too busy. Doesn't hinder the view at all. Smith TM14 also follows that up with Walby's Warriors, CFL and CBC. Just that. He just and then I'll hang up and listen type of thing.
Yeah, what was they used to give out something because Walby used to come to the dressing room after the game and present
with a turkey.
No, yeah.
Here's a frozen bird, yeah.
But what did the player receive for a Walby Warrior? I know they got an award at the end of the year.
That's some pub trivia right there. Yeah. Walby's Warrior. I'll have to give that a Google. I'll run it through there. Maybe a... Walby's Warriors refers to an annual award given by Canadian football analyst Kris Knoblauch to players who demonstrate heart, determination, and leadership on the field. They're not flashy, obviously, the players. The awards are part of a larger program where Walby identifies and celebrates players who embody the spirit of a warrior. There's a lot of fluff in here, but you get it.
The essence is pure.
And both the words start with a W. Yeah. So Torbjorn's Warriors just never give you. Somebody's also asking for the Anaconda clip, Trev, if you could indulge us here.
Yes, Anaconda. This is like an anaconda taking down a pig.
Do you remember why you said that, or
I might have been in response to watching Nielson eat. I'm trying to think. Like, why would I have made the awkward
taking
reference?
down an Italian center panino? Like
Perhaps. I can't even recall when that might have been or why I would have said such a line.
One of my personal favorites.
Yes, I bet it is.
I think about it quite a bit there, Jamie.
Well, it's certainly visual.
It's good. I love it. Yes, very visual.
Let's get to a sports update here. YouTube Trev will get you up to date on everything you need to know. Also, the basketball team in action later tonight. And we'll be back. Hour number 1. Once again, your thoughts on tonight's game, too, if you want to get them in. We'll discuss. Again, it's one of those things where you're re-racking. You're running it back tonight. But it should be a celebratory night, of course. Crack Pack coming up for Wayne's Sports Cards. That's going to end hour number 1. After the sports update, Lieutenant Eric, Dave Jamieson, in for Dustin Nielsen, YouTube Trev. It is the Nielsen Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
The Edmonton Oilers and Florida Panthers hit the ice for Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final later tonight, going at 6. You can join Tom Gazzola live at the Canadian Ice House for the GCL Diesel pre- and post-game show starting at 5 right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Tyrese Halliburton wins it for the Pacers in Game 1 of the NBA Finals with 0.3 seconds left on the clock. 111-110 is the score. Game 2 goes tomorrow night. The Edmonton Stingers are in action later tonight in Montreal to take on the Alliance, this game going at 6 p.m. Week 1 of the CFL got underway last night. The Saskatchewan Roughriders beat the Redblacks 31-26. Roughriders QB Trevor Harris completed 19 of 26 passes, good enough for 277 yards and 2 touchdown throws in the game. The Toronto Argonauts are in Montreal for their first games of the season. Kickoff for this one at 5:30. And the Elks take the field for Game 1 of their season Saturday night at BC Place. Round 2 of the Canadian Open is underway. You've got Cameron Champ leading the way, tied for first, -1 through 5. And Canadian Taylor Pendrith is tied for 8th through round 1. In the NFL, Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers agreed to a 1-year contract pending a physical. This will be Aaron Rodgers' 21st season in the NFL. And that's the ball game as the Toronto Blue Jays take the series with a 9-1 win over the Phillies. The Blue Jays now hit the road to take on the Twins later today. First pitch at 6:10. And the Edmonton Riverhawks complete their sweep against the Victoria Harbor Cats with a 7-1 win. The Hawks will hit the mound later today as they welcome in the Bellingham Bells. First pitch going at 7:05. I'm YouTube Trev. You're up to date.
What say you? Hey, nasty crew. We got the Nielson Show flu. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. What say you? Hey, nasty crew. My wife thinks I got better things to do, but there's nothing I can do about it. We're tuning in, we're listening online. We catch up with the podcast when we fall behind. We're texting in the nasty chat, what's on our mind. 780-218-9999. No more interference from corporate interest. Just Tati and Eric and all of the bad cats like Wyshynski and Noodles. Captain can gauge it. Maybe it's fun but a cool band to make a little wager. We can't wait for the Monday mandate. Shaggy's always on time. Tommy's always late.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Forget about the old place. Hey, we were number 1 in the text race. We don't miss all the commercial breaks, but we sure miss Nickelback today. We wanna hear some Huntix and we wanna hear Renee. Why not hold the neck up when I wanna kiss away? Beat up the tire fire and remember that name. We love every goal song, but what about the Canes? Macramel, Rapaport, Dragger, Engineer. It ain't Christmas season, but they sound like reindeer. Button and my cousin and the tales of the North. All about them give a present, Dusty go forth. What say you? AM Nasty crew. We got the Nielson Show flu. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it.
Good morning. 6:36. It is the Nielson Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, iHeart and TuneIn radio apps, and on YouTube. Nasty Chat's coming away. Once again, if you are watching on YouTube today, pound that thumbs up, give us a like. Certainly helps in the algorithm, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You may think you have. You may think, oh, hey, this idiot, he's telling me to subscribe. I don't. Check. You'll say, oh, shoot, I thought I did my hands.
Subscribed. You'll be alerted.
Yeah, check it out. It doesn't hurt. And again, it doesn't cost anything to subscribe. We won't send you spam emails or any of that garbage. So just subscribe and you'll be locked into everything EST, which is presented by Play Alberta. Dave, do you got those codes for Play Alberta
I sure
here?
do, Eric. EST Casino. Deposit $20 or more to get a $50 casino bonus using promo code EST Casino. Usable for new and existing players. We haven't forgotten them until the end of June.
Perfect. And as promised, a little later on in the show, don't want to do it now. We got a bit of a giveaway courtesy of our friends at Play Alberta. You'll want to hop on that one. It's great value and for a very good time. Southport Chevrolet.
Before you get to that, we'll talk very sparingly about something we can't see. You like those Elks uniforms?
Oh God, I think I told you off air too that I like that people like them. It doesn't matter. It's like what we think.
Nice of you.
Like broadcasters. It doesn't matter what we.
It really doesn't matter.
But
what we think.
I look at the response, and generally, it was just through the roof. Great turnout. It looked like last night. Everybody's smiling and happy.
Yep.
You love that the gold comes back with the green, and you go away from the Packers look, which
Brock Sunderland did.
And an interesting anecdote. antidote
Yes.
about Brock Sunderland. That
Yeah, after they fired him, they cleaned out his office and found a bunch of toenail clippings in the credenza.
you
mean,
only
come
get
on
this,
now.
You only get the stuff with this
Come
guy.
on
Like,
now.
I that is that's an all timer.
Yeah.
I'd like to like the Anaconda clip. I'd like to clip that whole.
Yeah. It's like Chris Jones' office having to clean the carpets because he kept his dog in there during practices. Yeah,
What
come
was
on
the name?
now.
What was-
I don't
do you
know.
What would he name his dog?
Probably his own name. I'm Chris Jones, and this is my dog, Chris Jones.
CJ.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
Come here, CJ.
That nail clipping thing is that's
that's pretty cool, huh?
you can't make that up.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah, no. The Nielson Show, as always, presented by South Fort Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot. This month you can get employee pricing on Silverado 1500 Silverado HDs. The Stanley Cup Final features the best teams, and we are featuring the best deals this month. Visit them in Fort Saskatchewan or check them out online, www.southfortchev.com. Lots of hockey today, as mentioned. We're going to get into that right now. Crack Pack coming up to finish off hour one, but we've got a little bit of audio and visual. If you are watching today, Kris Knoblauch spoke yesterday. He was at the podium ahead of tonight's game 2, and we're going to listen to a few words that he had to say yesterday.
Kris, over here. You decided to go to the nuclear option last night at one point, late in the second, most of the third, with obviously Connor and Leon. And whenever you do it, it obviously seems to generate instant success for your team. It tilted the ice for you last night. This is a dumb question probably, but it's so effective every time you do it. What's the dilemma like when you go away from it? Because you don't seem to want to do it long term.
Yeah, ironically, we've done it throughout the playoffs and mid-game or third periods, they have just gone off and scored tremendous at a tremendous rate. Two biggest games that come to my mind, a couple games against the LA series. And there's been games when they've actually started and, they played well, but they haven't scored what you would expect. I don't know. I think it's important. One, Leon playing center just spreads out our scoring a little bit. It also gets him in the game a little bit more. He's skating and involved. And I think it also allows the rest of our team knowing that they've got a role. They've got to play well, and we're not just relying on this one line that is going to do all the work. And I don't know. It's nice to know that when those two get together mid-game, that the results are pretty good. But it's something that we can't rely on.
Right side, third row.
So you mentioned knowing how good Florida is, and obviously you guys are going to make adjustments and be better, but you guys didn't lead Florida at all in the series last year. What are you sort of expecting from their pushback, from their adjustment as a team that's won the Stanley Cup, that's been in this place before, and knows it's down in a series?
With Florida's team, and I might be wrong, but they're very good at what they do. Their identity, they defend really well in the defensive zone. Their forward check, they're great around the net in the defensive zone and in the offensive zone. And you know what? I'm sure there's going to be some adjustments, but I think they're pretty confident with their identity, and they play to that identity very well. And I think they have a lot of confidence that they'll play their game and they should come out on top. But, for us, we need to, just be ready for it, that they are going to be better. But as for the changes, there's probably some minor adjustments. But I think with the success that they've had for a long period of time, that it's probably going to be a very similar style.
Left side, second row.
Kris, what's the biggest challenge and what's the key for your defense when it comes to defending against Sam Bennett when he's in and around the net? Because obviously he's very good at creating that chaos and contact.
Yeah, you just try and make early contact, box a guy out. There's not a lot you can do. There's some players that just find their way getting to the net. I guess just early contact, getting body position. That's about all.
Right side front row.
Hey, Kris. I just want to ask you about the luxury of having some big bodies, some physical players, and the fact that you guys are healthy this year and you're not going to get bullied. And just how kind of luxury is that? And the fact that you guys are playing physical, but not necessarily crossing that line, and the importance of that.
Yeah, we have some. We're a more physical team. We're bigger, we're stronger than we were last year, but. I don't think that's a far cry that we were ever bullied out. I think we accepted that challenge, and the physicality. We had some really physical series last year. Obviously, the Florida one last year, and the first round last year against LA was a very physical matchup. A lot of hits, but this year, we added. Obviously, you got Kane being healthy. Him having that presence more than he was last year, Trent Frederick, we got a lot more guys that have. Pod Colson's another guy, Kapanen. I think it's important that not only you're finishing your checks, you have that physical presence, but you're winning a lot of battles. The bigger you are, typically you're stronger, you're winning more pucks, which is important. You want to play with the puck as much as possible. Less time defending, and we got those big guys. They are helping us.
Right side fourth row.
Hey, Kris, I'm curious how you think Jake Walman's handled playing on this stage, making his first playoff run. He's a plus 11, played 23 minutes last night, 20 minutes throughout the playoffs. How do you think he's handled it, and what are his biggest attributes that give you trust to play him as consistently as he has?
I'm pretty sure we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Jake, among others. But Jake's game was tremendous, especially, missing Ekholm. We needed guys to step up in Ekholm's absence. He was one of those guys. And when we got Jake, we wanted a guy who's a puck-moving defenseman, some agility, give us a little more scoring. And yes, he gave us all that. But one thing I didn't know about Jake was how many block shots he had. In the first game he played with us, he had about 5 or 6. And throughout the playoffs last night, I know he had about 3 or 4. And, how he's willing to put his body in front of the puck and make it hard for them to score. He's also physical. He had some big hits last night. Nice surprise. We knew we were getting a smart, good skating defenseman, some offensive flair. Guy can probably be on the first unit power play if we needed that. But I didn't understand or knew about his all-around game, and his defensive play has been really well. And he's also been used in many situations. He's been on the penalty kill. And at the trade deadline, we wanted players with versatility. We talked about Trent Frederick playing numerous positions. Jake Walman, same position. He's played with every single other defenseman. He's been on the left side. He's been on the right side. And right now, he's been playing a lot with Klingberg, which I think those two have been great together. But get back to your answer, his role on this run has been very important.
Left side fifth row.
All right, Oilers
Some
head
Jake
coach
Walman love.
Kris Knoblauch, one of the many
big time.
cult heroes that are now kind of announcing themselves here.
Yeah.
And you have some Kris Knoblauch love that you'd like to.
Well, his contract status, if he's a deal that he's on until the end of 26, right?
Next season, yeah, runs through.
I tear up that deal and do a longer term with him. And maybe that isn't seen as an important thing, but given what he's done in the time he's been here, in the short time he's been here, they win this year. Tell me why you wouldn't want to lean in hard on Kris Knoblauch. I love that guy. I like the guy. I mean, obviously the success that they're having.
They've tried with a few other coaches, right? Like this has been, we talked yesterday, this has been a process. Maybe a little longer than some would have hoped, or
a lot longer.
Yeah,
than
I mean,
some would have hoped.
if you get there, you get there. And that's all that matters. But yes, you could argue that this could have been maybe, brought forth quicker with other coaches or management groups or whatever.
I could see him like a Mike Sullivan was in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Where you're there for, and in this day and age, I realize if you get 3 years, you're considered, wow, it's just like Scotty Bowman. But now with that guy, absolutely would.
Like you had,
and there is no coach's salary cap, so I don't care what to pay the man.
You want to
pay the man.
You want him record. Like, look, we're just going to go through a little exercise here, and Todd McClellan,
yes,
right, and that was after Todd Nelson, beloved figure. Todd Nelson, with the Camaro, the leather jackets. I mean that.
Love him,
but that was never going to. So Todd McClellan comes in, successful coach, regular season success, all those things considered. Doesn't work out. And again, team building and management, everything has a part to play here. Hitch comes in for a bit. That's not going to be a thing that goes. Dave Tippett.
Never meant to be.
Dave
yes.
Tippett. Tip was here.
Tips.
Loved listening to him speak. The timbre of his tone was, but yes. I mean, didn't work out. Jay Woodcroft. I think a lot of fans wanted to win with Jay. They felt Jay Woodcroft was a member. He's one of our own type of deal, right? Through the organization.
There was a little, a growing cult of those who thought, oh, yes, the bright young mind, and he is. I mean, in terms of he should be, and I'm assuming will be.
A cockiness to his style as well, which people, I think, really enjoyed.
Until you don't.
He read the clippings. Well, yeah, and that's where now we arrive at a guy like Kris Knoblauch, who is the opposite. I mean, a quiet cockiness or confidence, but...
you couldn't do that job without confidence. You would not survive very long.
Well, and some don't, because of that. But I'm just saying, like, Knoblauch's got that calm. The number one thing we talk about is that calm demeanor, and how I've listed all of these coaches. Not to say that a lot of these guys aren't calm, but Tippett would yell, and Woodcroft would kind of. How shall I say it? Sometimes letting people see him sweat a bit. He would, maybe. Get out of his lane. He'd be tempted to do it because he likes to do it, and that's fine. That's the person he is. All these guys have different personalities, but I'm just saying, I think you found the perfect one here in Knoblauch
at this time,
to where this team is at,
yes, right on the cusp of winning a Stanley Cup.
Yeah, where they are in their evolution.
It's 1-0. Don't text saying there's lots more to play.
It's over.
That said, right guy, right time to lead this group.
Yeah, and timing in sports. Well, in life, I guess anything, jobs or positions or whatever, but timing plays a role. You can be very good at your craft, but it just may not be the right time. And I think, again, to all those names mentioned, good coaches in their own right, good coaches in their own time in certain timelines. But Knoblauch is here, and he's doing a great job. You heard the nuclear option brought up, right? I mean, we've talked about his in-game adjustments, his series adjustments as series will go on, and the answer's there. And I think, too, if and when the Oilers win this series, Knoblauch besting a guy like Paul Maurice,
yes,
would just be, the feather in the cap, really, in terms of a coaching one-on-one. Everybody said matchups in this series, goaltending, forwards, blue lines, and everything, but I think the two coaches here is an interesting game to watch as well.
Not to take you away from talking game 2, which we should be and will be throughout the bulk of the show.
I'm going to game 4.
Never look ahead too far. It's always the game Eric can
you love game 2. We call you Mr. Game 2. As people don't know, we used to call him Mr. Game 2
Mr.
around
Game
the old
2.
place. Yeah.
But I just want to come back to the term nuclear. But while we were in the break, YouTube leaned over and said nuclear or nuclear. And Trev, do you want to let the listeners know you have struggled, and you're not alone. I just want you to know. I'm not making
struggle
fun.
a lot there, J-Mo.
Well, that's for after the show. And with the pronunciation there, what else do you struggle with in terms of pronunciations?
Oh, I mean, most words. If you've heard my updates, I'm just joking. No, I don't have a hard time with some words, but that one was just. I never really thought about it until you brought it up because I think I say nuclear, and I've also said nuclear.
Oh yeah,
as well. Then I never really realized it. But
as the wind blows,
you just whatever. How are you feeling? Yeah,
he's a linguist.
Yeah. So, but apparently, Nasty's just going forward. It's nuclear.
Sure.
Nuclear.
I think they'll appreciate that.
Nuclear.
Yeah. Or not nuclear.
Like new metal.
Nuclear.
New metal.
Not nuclear.
Yes.
Anyway.
And now that we've got that tidied up, all right. Where were we?
Marty McFly from Red Deer, Paris Jewelers inbox. LT, Knoblauch is doing what Q did in Chicago. That'd be Quenneville.
Yes. Okay. You mean manage, lead a really talented group with veterans?
I think I asked him
or
to
is it
kind
the
of
approach?
I asked him to explain that
it's
comparison. I think the timing there maybe too. Him going there, but Quenneville was an established. Kris Knoblauch. Remember when he was hired? Who? You know, all we knew is he's a former Golden Bear, and then he coached McDavid back in junior.
They passed him over. God, I hope I've got this right. I'm stealing all of Stoff's material.
Yeah, well,
but he's told this.
Yeah,
we all do. He said he got passed over by Holland, Knoblauch, that is.
Yes.
And so he was coaching the Hartford
Yes,
Wolfpack,
yeah.
the top farm team of the New York Rangers. And you know, I think Glenn Sather had said to some, this guy, you know, is really good. Like, keep your eye on this guy. And so could have had him earlier, but now they got him. And Jeff
Timing
Jackson
again, though.
Jeff Jackson
now.
gets the credit for that one.
Yep. The pride of Imperial Saskatchewan, Kris Knoblauch. Got to get that in there. But the Tales says you mean child actor Jay Woodcroft. Did you ever see that stuff? He was in
that was a
Tobo
thing
or
for
whatever.
a couple of days.
Yeah. We had a bunch of. I had so much fun with those clips. Boy, was that hilarious. He had a few parts, but real good parts. Like when he was called upon as a child thespian, he out of the park.
Didn't Dusty do some live theater as a kid?
Excuse me?
Yes, I believe that he was in drama club.
I think he talked about being in drama, but I don't know about like.
Well,
at the Cranbrook Community Hall,
I don't think he was doing dinner theater, but as I recall, I think Dusty is got some training.
He never made it. Oh, he can. Well, have you seen Tales of the North?
Yes, I have.
I mean, all those many long hours in the
costume
drama
comedy.
den.
Nothing better than costume comedy.
I will get more into the game as the show rolls on. I know Hampton Steve, he's got a question for CJ later. That means Chris Johnston, our hockey insider analyst at 7:05. Which media member lasted longest on the mechanical bull at the media event at Cook County last night?
Is that still a thing? The mechanical bull?
Who do you think out of all the media, the throngs of media that have descended upon this city, who would?
That's where
I think my money would be on David Amber. That guy is ripped. He is.
That's actually
the bull
a very
rides
good call.
Him, you know, like
so to speak.
The mechanical. Well, yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
Yes, I understand.
You know what
I understand. I understand. Yeah, I think that's a good call, Amber. But then you might be surprised. There might be one of those hockey
You're going with
guys.
Kyle Bukauskas,
but
Slim, you know,
because they're former hockey guys. I mean, many would say, well, it's got to be Biz. But he's got.
But he's
gout.
dealing with gout. You can't ride a bull when you're on the gout.
No. Yeah. But there would be some of those hockey guys that have training from, ranching.
Sure, yeah. The Chris Russell type. Yeah.
Thank you.
Adam Zeal in the nasty chat. That theater question sounds like a good one to ask noted CFL insider Dustin Nielson. Maybe you jot that down and bring it up to him.
Did you or did you not perform in amateur theater?
Really grill him.
Yeah, like, dig hard.
Dig very hard.
Pygmalion. What role were you?
Let's get to the crack pack quickly for Wayne's sports cards. I know Wayne
purveyors of fine sports
dropped
cards.
into the shop yesterday. They are getting ready for the Summit Collectibles this weekend, going down here in Edmonton. For more information, just pop into Wayne's West End. It's in the same strip mall as
Good
the
timing for the show.
Westgate Boston Pizza. Yeah,
with all that's going on.
Of course.
Okay, what are we doing
we
here?
thank Wayne. I'm cracking CFL 2018. Find a game used jersey autograph cards. You got 2017.
2017.
Right? And Trev, what do you got?
Deck?
OPG.
2024, 25, baby.
Love it.
All
Okay,
right.
well, let's get these going, boys, and we'll get on with things. Caleb Hawley. If you get any green and whites, Dave, I wouldn't mind if I'll trade you, obviously. Jeremiah Mazzoli.
Well, the first thing I see is my buddy, Simeon Rotier.
Okay. Rodier.
Oh,
Willie Jefferson in a Roughriders uniform from back. I wish they could have kept him. He's stud. Deontay Spencer. Daniel Vandervoort. Do you remember him? Your BC Lions?
Yes.
Micah Johnson, who's playing some time already on offensive line last night, as he had to do double duty due to the injuries. No jersey card for me.
Kevin Glenn, the well-traveled, in a Rider jersey.
He did them all, baby.
He did them all. Larry Dean.
The president.
Yes.
Isn't that what they call him?
Yeah, that's right. Former Elk, if I'm not mistaken, and Ticat and Rider.
Rider Scout now or something.
Something like that. Weston Dressler.
That's
the diminutive
player.
Yeah, that
Pride of the Dakotas.
Baller and shot caller right there.
Yeah.
Tyrell Sutton.
How many cards did you get in there?
Just hang on.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm rolling.
Jeez.
Oh, I like the look of that Alouettes jersey. And Markway McDaniel.
Markway McDaniel. He had some wheels, hey?
Yeah.
He was a
Calgary Stampeder.
Yeah. Trev, what do we got in there? What do you got? You got
This is a first for me. It says Kings forward. Warren Fogle.
Yeah. Oh.
But he's repping the Oilers jersey.
Oh, one of those.
I haven't seen that before.
One of those. So they made the card prior to the...
Yeah, that's interesting. Got Dylan Cousins, Scott Wedgwood, marquee rookie Jackson Blake, who's actually going to be a good player, I think. Alex Newhook. Got Dylan Strome, Lane Hudson. This one looks good. Look at this.
You love the Lane Hudson, hey?
Lane Hudson.
That's your boy. Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, look at that. That is my boy. And then marquee rookie. This one's shiny. Of, who does it say here? Kyle McLean with the Islanders.
Okay.
So, decent pulls.
Decent pulls, great pack. Once again, more than just sports at Wayne's Sports Cards. Go check them out today. They did have Cheers cards.
Of course,
and I mean, we cracked a few packs. Not
Since
when George
1991,
went.
I can tell
It
by
says
the
on
shirts.
shirt. Yeah,
1991.
And they say you can get a shirt down there. You can get Legos. They got all sorts of stuff. Great staff. Fun place to go. If you want more information on the Summit Collectibles Show, pop into Wayne's, ask them, and they can point you in the right direction. We thank Wayne's Sports Cards for supplying the crack pack. 6:58. Once again, Dave Jamieson in for Dustin Nielson here on a Friday installment of the Nielson Show. Dusty will be joining us in the third hour, and we'll be back in the host chair on Monday. YouTube Trev here as well. He'll have a sports update coming up here soon and I want to make another mention of this as well. We have a new partner here, Expedia Cruises. We, of course, batted the ball around, talked about maybe a Mexican getaway, perhaps a Nassau, Bahamas getaway.
This is still open-ended here.
Well, it's going to happen.
Yes.
But it's like Trev going out tonight. We're going on something.
Okay. You do not know destination.
Maybe Cuba.
Oh, yes.
You know? An interesting place.
And will all of the EST lineup be going or probably not,
I mean, yeah. Maddie wants to go to next year's World Cup and he wants to take the hangout on the road. And I don't know if that's going to Well, he might be doing it. He'll get down there in his little Chevy Impala and just...
In Vancouver, right? He would hit the Vancouver stop.
I think he wants L.A. Look.
So you guys set up outside SoFi?
Sure. Yeah. We'll be on
just
Radio Row.
Yeah, from Russillo and then, Michelle Beadle,
they'll fit us
Stephen
in.
A.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mia Hamm. But Expedia Cruises, Trevor will have more on that. But if you want to, book a cruise or just get some information, contact Chelsea. She's a nasty just like you. So she gets it. You can drop a funny little line with her and she'll giggle and you guys will have a good time. 780-970-4834 to contact Chelsea with Expedia Cruises. Plan your next cruise through them. 7 o'clock. Let's get to a sports update right now with YouTube Trev. We'll be back with TSN and the Athletics. Kris Johnston for more on Game 2 tonight. Oilers Panthers. It's the Stanley Cup Final. It's the Nielson Show here on Edmonton Sports Talk.
The Edmonton Oilers and Florida Panthers hit the ice for Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final later tonight at 6. You can join Tom Gazzola live at the Canadian Ice House for the GCL Diesel pre- and post-game show starting at 5 right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Tyrese Halliburton wins it for the Pacers in Game 1 of the NBA Finals with 0.3 seconds left on the clock. 111-110 is the score. Game 2 goes tomorrow night. The Edmonton Stingers are in action later tonight in Montreal to take on the Alliance. This game going at 6 p.m. Week 1 of the CFL got underway last night. The Saskatchewan Roughriders beat the Redblacks 31-26. Roughriders QB Trevor Harris completed 19 of 26 passes for 277 yards and 2 touchdown throws in the game. The Toronto Argonauts are in Montreal for their first games of the season. Kickoff for this one going at 5:30. And the Elks take the field for Game 1 of their season Saturday night at BC Place. Round 2 of the Canadian Open is underway. We've got Cameron Champ leading the way, -1 through 7, and Canadian Taylor Pendrith tied for 8th through round 1. In the NFL, Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers agree to a one-year contract pending a physical. This will be Aaron Rodgers' 21st season in the NFL, and that's the ball game as the Toronto Blue Jays take the series with a 9-1 win over the Phillies. The Blue Jays now hit the road to take on the Twins later today. First pitch at 6:10, and the Edmonton Riverhawks complete the sweep against the Victoria Harbor Cats with the 7-1 win. The Hawks hit the mound later today as they welcome in the Bellingham Bells. First pitch at 7:05. Get ready for our biggest sale of the year with Princess Cruises, running June 12th to 14th only. You can access the exclusive offers during this 72-hour sale. Contact Chelsea LaBelle with Expedia Cruises in Northeast Edmonton or call 780-970-4834 to plan your next cruise vacation. I'm YouTube Trev. You're up to date.
When you need a vet to be a threat, you can bet he'll fill the net. He's Perry, Corey Perry. He can score, he's scary. Corey Perry, he's a prick, but you know he does the trick. He's won the heart, he's won the cup. He just keeps going, won't give up. He'll knock you down, the fans will shout. You round, you will find out. It's Perry, Corey Perry. He can score, he's scary. Corey Perry, he's a prick, but you know he does the trick. When you need a vet to be a threat, you can bet he'll fill the nets. Is he Harry, Corey Perry? He can score, he's scary. Corey Perry, he's a prick, but you know he does the trick.
7:05, hour 2 of the Nielson Show begins now here on Edmonton Sports Talk. The Nielson Show presented as always by South Fort Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot out in Fort Saskatchewan. And EST, our proud presenting sponsors. Play Alberta. We'll have a Play Alberta early bird pick of the day coming up later this hour, courtesy Dustin Nielsen, as he's in Montreal tonight getting set for the Alouettes and Argonauts. I'm sure the early bird will have something to do, though, with tonight's Game 2. Dave Jamieson in for Dustin Nielsen. Your two favorite words in all of sports, Game 2.
Game 2.
We called you, as I said, Mr. Game 2 right here.
Chance to go up 2-0 and grab a veritable stranglehold on the series, or as the scene shifts to Sunrise, knot it up.
And what do we know about taking a 2-0 lead to Sunrise, eh? That always...
It's a good thing.
Yeah, well,
that's what we know.
It's not for some teams, but we're coming to you live as well from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio today. If you're looking for a little pregame meal, a little snack to, cushion the blow for the liquids that'll get down there tonight, Popeyes was the place. They have their pickle value menu out right now. Get down to Popeyes, get a chicken sandwich, and good seafood down at Popeyes. You mean the Louisiana Kitchen. You also heard the Corey Perry song there, Totem Outdoor Outfitters. Nielsen Show songs, all songs presented by them. Win an Oilers jersey, buy a punch card, get an entry, finish a punch card, get an entry. Go Oilers, go. New gear, used gear, trade and consign. A sport for every season with hockey equipment, skates, ready to go year round. Let's get into our Hockey Insider analyst today. He's been gracious enough to join us during a busy time of the season, so we appreciate that. Mr. Kris Johnston of The Athletic. Dave, we do have a liner. Pro-Am Jack Cookson sent something by to tell the masses.
Yes, you can pre-order now. Leon Draisaitl, Stanley Cup Final OT winner celebration, 20 by 29 canvas frame. Pre-order now. Go to Pro-Am Sports. Check that out.
Kris,
so cool they got it turned around that fast.
Well, they work.
Yeah, magic.
I mean, they're doing it. Do. I don't think they leave the shop. They kind of live there. And Kris, where are you at? What are you doing? How have been your Stanley Cup Final? The week that it has been, and we'll get to the game, but I'm just talking you. What have you been taking part in? Anything? Somebody wanted to ask who won the mechanical bull riding competition through members of the media the other night. If you'd have that information.
I do not have that information. I pride myself on knowing what's going on, but I didn't see any mechanical bulls, unfortunately. I'm in downtown Edmonton at my hotel. It's been awesome. Really have enjoyed, both being here last June for the Cup Final and again. And, just it's special being somewhere where hockey matters, where the games literally couldn't get any bigger than the ones we're going to here. And, I thought the arena was just incredible a couple of nights ago. And I'm sure on a Friday with the series lead and the chance to grab that stranglehold that you mentioned, I'm sure it'll be buzzing there tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be ripping with the weather. I want to ask before, Dave, how did you get a place downtown? Because we've heard that all the media have to stay out here in the West End. There's actually a hotel a block from our studios here where we're kind of shuttling guys back and forth. But how did you get that sweet plum?
I had about 100 bookings. I feel like I had all the potential possibilities.
That's a veteran move.
Worked out. So yes, I've been through this game before. To be totally candid, I had a bunch of bookings in Dallas and Carolina, and ones that never obviously were needed either because neither team advanced. So I got a head start on the booking game.
Look at you. I love it.
Kris, in some years past, the Stanley Cup Final is not the best hockey that gets played. Often, as you know, round one can be just incredible. It doesn't feel, based on what we saw in the first game of this series, like these two teams are still very capable of playing the kind of hockey you need to win a Stanley Cup. Like it all, because of the grind of it, it always feels like a war of attrition, but both look very fresh.
Yeah, it was the first game was better than I can't remember a better first game. And I was talking with someone who works at the league who was saying the same thing. And that person had a little older than me, had probably a larger perspective to draw on. But, I think what's interesting this year, there's no Cinderella story, right? I mean, these are two teams that were expected to have a chance to be back to the final. Both have ripped through the playoffs. I'm sure that there's injuries on both sides. Matthew Tkachuk, I don't know if he's ever been fully right since he suffered the injury he did in February at the Four Nations tournament. I'm sure there's all kinds of, smaller things going on both sides. But, we got to last year's final and it was evident that Leon Draisaitl, wasn't himself. Evander Kane was knocked out of that series after the first couple games. I mean, you didn't have all the best players, where it just feels like everyone's a little healthier this time around. A little more fresh. Maybe the fact that neither team has played too many games prior to this. They've, I won't say it's been easy, but certainly it's not like a bunch of 7-game series preceded this on both sides for Edmonton and Florida. And so there was no hesitation in game one. There was no feeling out. It was two teams that just went at it. And especially as that game went on, I thought Edmonton's speed and the physicality was pretty apparent. And, but each team inside that game enjoyed times where they kind of had the run of play and where momentum was going their way. And they were, in the offensive zone, putting pressure on their opponents. So, it was a hell of a game. And I hope, I'm sure everyone here is just hoping it's done in 4 and that the Oilers sweep their way out of it. But selfishly, as more of a neutral observer, I'd be totally fine if this stretched out to 6 or 7 games and they were all played at the speed and the intensity of that last one.
Well, that's where I want to go next, and I think it's probably good for the league for a neutral point. I mean, that's a hell of a game the other night. But I think a lot of Oilers fans too would. I mean, we talk around here. I think some people seeing the display on Wednesday, they had the 2-goal deficit that they came back from. They got good, solid goaltending from Stuart Skinner. You saw Kris Knoblauch go nuclear. He saw that. He experimented with it. It could work. And you mentioned, Florida. It went back and forth, but I think the Oilers really had more speed, more physicality, and that's leaving a lot of Oilers fans pretty bullish on perhaps, well, I know it's one game, but you're kind of thinking ahead here a bit. Do you more subscribe to that theory, or then there's the Panthers who, I mean, they've been here and done this a lot of times. They're quite clearly not going to panic at all at this point. But do you still see this series going long, or do you see what the Oilers displayed in terms of already coming back in a game this series, one game, the first game, to kind of lead them to where they want to go and where destiny is apparently taking them? Because it just seems like, they have more of that hunger as opposed to a team that's won it just last year.
Yeah, I'm sort of starting to lean that it might be shorter, that Edmonton just might truly be the time for this core. I mean, that's probably a game in game one the Oilers don't win last year. Mm-hmm. I'm guessing just getting down 3-1, it's a tough thing to do. I mean, you probably saw the stats bouncing around. Like the Panthers under Paul Maurice had not blown a lead in the playoffs after the first period, let alone the second period. So typically when they have that lead, every other time it's happened the last few playoff runs, they've won that game. And I just didn't see any panic in the Oilers game. There's a lot of maturity there. I've heard a lot about, Grant Fuhrer was in the NHL when I was a kid, but, I didn't know him. But they used to always talk about him, not always having to have a shutout, but not letting in the next backbreaking goal. I think Stuart Skinner did that. It's 3-1, 2 minutes into the second period, and would be a night that's not going his way, and then he doesn't let another goal in for the rest of the game. So it does feel to me a little like Edmonton's going to find a way to do this. I've kind of just had that sense. And look, if they win tonight, now we're getting really ahead of ourselves. You really kind of just have to win game 3 and the series is almost over, right? I mean, and, I realize that I'll say that with some caution because we have a 3-0 series as recently last year in the Stanley Cup Final. That was 3-0 for one team, and it was far from over at that point. But, the fact that the Panthers are in their third final, it could work against them at a certain stage. I mean, I certainly don't see them folding or anything like that. But, if Edmonton can exert its will and get up in the series, it just might be too much, especially if they are a little bit more injured maybe than I'm even aware of right now.
Kris Johnston, Hockey Insider, joining us here on the Nielson Show. Kris, is there an Oiler whose stock has risen more than Jake Walman? I mean, you heard Kris Knoblauch at the podium yesterday singing his praises, and deservedly so.
If the Oilers were a stock portfolio, you'd be rich. I feel like this team, everywhere I look, it has players like a Jake Walman. I mean, John Klingberg, barely plays for 2 years because of his hip issues. And, their pairing, I thought, was really good the first night. I mean, Kasperi Kapanen sat out 9 games to start this playoff run. I thought that he looked great for what you expect of a player like that in this lineup, making plays, throwing the body around, obviously at that breakaway in overtime. It just seems like almost everything the Oilers sort of touched this year turned to gold or some of those acquisitions because, obviously it's the same core of the team, the same fundamental players. You still got Draisaitl, McDavid, Bouchard, that were such a key part of last year's Cup run here. But, you've had to fill in around the gaps. You lost a couple players to the offer sheets last summer and just had, a few others, Warren Fogle and the like, leave as free agents. But, they found a way to replace those guys in some case in cheap ways. And, I'll be honest that when that Jake Walman trade was made, I think it was maybe the day before the deadline or 2 days before the deadline, it wasn't an attention grabber for me at the time. I didn't realize how significant he might be, but, Stan Bowman has always liked to have defensemen that move the puck well. And some teams have a different formula with their blue line, but I think it makes so much sense because obviously when you have the forwards Edmonton does, you want the puck in their hands. And when you have players that can get it to them, it neutralizes a little bit what Florida can do because they're so, adept at getting on the forecheck and hemming you in. But, I think having a pairing like the Walman-Klingberg one when they're performing as they are is kind of an underrated. It's not going to get a lot of attention right after the game. There's going to be a focus on other things, but that's a big part of the wins Edmonton has put together through this playoff run and game 1 as well.
Kris, I also wanted your thoughts. AJ Greer was skating yesterday. Do you have any more kind of updates or anything like that? I know you mentioned that obviously teams keep it close to breast here at this time of year, but he was on the ice. Anything else that you're kind of picking up or sensing around the Panthers camp?
Not really. He was in and out of the last game when they're winning in Carolina in the Eastern Conference Final. It's been interesting. I was around the Panthers, obviously covered them in round 2 when they played the Maple Leafs. They've kind of tinkered with their fourth line, and it's actually brought them some success. I mean, I haven't refreshed it since the other night, but if you look at the Panthers scoring leaders, one of the interesting things about their playoffs is how, they don't have one guy right at the top, but they've had pretty good success through their lineup and getting goals and points right from the top down. So, even having a fourth line injury, does disrupt a little bit, what has made them effective in these playoffs, which I think is just literally rolling through the lineup and being able to beat you almost whoever is out there on the ice. But, I don't have any other sense. I mean, look, Reinhart and Tkachuk didn't skate the other day when it was an otherwise full team skate. So, that leads me to believe that obviously they're playing the games, and I'm not suggesting they're going to miss tonight's game, but probably not at 100%. But as I say, I'm sure, I've only been here in Edmonton a couple of days. I don't have the same feel maybe for the Oilers, but I'm sure there's players on both sides that are getting a lot of treatment on these off days.
I also wanted to get to here, and you are not just an Oilers insider analyst, you are an NHL insider analyst, and a couple of things around the league, including the Bruins and Penguins in terms of a GM. We were talking about the Sturm, the desk turn yesterday. I mean, that was, in terms of announcement videos, that was one that caught our eye, but a new coach in Pittsburgh and a new executive there when it comes to the Bruins.
Yeah, and I think it makes sense, that Marco Sturm landing in Boston, he's coached as an NHL assistant coach and been in the American Hockey League the last few years. So, he's been someone that I think has been identified as was going to get this chance at some point. It comes at a place where, the stops he made in his NHL playing career, but also, look at where the Bruins and the Penguins are at. With the Penguins hiring Dan Muse for his first NHL head coaching gig. I mean, both those rosters are in some form of a rebuild, retool, getting younger. And so I do think the fact both organizations went out and gave someone their first head coaching opportunity makes some sense. You're trying to find the next bit of coaching talent. You're trying to get a younger voice in there that will be part of a younger roster and can grow with the team. And so, that's sort of it. Where both organizations landed, the Penguins and the Bruins, with those decisions, and we'll see what comes. I mean, Washington's had a lot of success with Spencer Carberry, right? He's 2 years now behind their bench, but could very well be the Jack Adams Award winner when the league announces that. They're doing it in those viral videos, so I'm not sure when that'll drop, but and so I think that set a little bit of a pattern. For other teams that they're trying to mimic it, you're thinking, okay, I mean, they went a little bit outside the box with that hire, and they were one of the best teams in the league this year. So, I do think that other organizations are doing the same, and that's what the Bruins hope. They found a Marco Sturm, because Pittsburgh's rebuild, I think, is going to be longer, even though they've been at it longer as well. They've already missed the playoffs the last 3 years. But the Bruins, as much as they traded away some of their veteran talent at the deadline, and it was actually a lot of it, if you look around the league, and some of it is in this series with Trent Frederick and Brad Marchand, I think that they want to try to turn the cruise ship around quicker, which, we'll see if they're successful at it. But that's the challenge for Marco Sturm, is he's going to have a lot of young players in that lineup, but there's an expectation in Boston that they're going to be winning again soon.
Kris, what was the most important or interesting thing you took from Gary Bettman's State of the Union?
There's a real encouraging time, because we're not going to be using the L word anytime soon for a lockout, which, obviously for people that have been through the sport, have been around long enough, realize how painful that can be for everybody involved. And so there's a real tone of optimism there, talking about, the fact the CBA negotiations are ongoing with the players. I know they had a bargaining session yesterday between games 1 and 2 of the series, because all the key figures are here in Edmonton, at this point in time. So I think that the hopeful tone he struck on that stuck out to me. And there wasn't really a whole lot of news there. I mean, Bettman's been making the rounds during these playoffs. He's done a bunch of those sort of sit downs. So I feel like the sport's in a pretty good place. I mean, there was a time when I was first covering Stanley Cup Finals a long time ago, before I had these grays in my beard, and those would be pretty tense sessions. There'd be a lot of very difficult questions to be asked. There used to always be teams in some degree of financial difficulty. What are you doing with Arizona? What are you doing with this? There used to be a little bit more teeth to some of those questions. I didn't feel that same way on Wednesday. It just seems as though the league's in a good spot. They're going to get that CBA extension done. The cap's on the rise. This is a great financial time for the NHL. And I mean, look around the arena you got here in Edmonton. I mean, there's a lot of money being made by the owners in this league, and the Oilers specifically at these games. I mean, everyone's all, face paint, jerseys, and those are pretty expensive tickets to get in the building too.
Yeah, well, we appreciate your time this morning, Kris. Enjoy tonight. Enjoy downtown. You've earned it, certainly, with the number of bookings. I mean, you win, man. That's hell of a play there. I love it. Kris Johnston, TSN and The Athletic. Thanks for your time, man, during a busy time of year.
Yeah, enjoy the game tonight, and hopefully I canceled some. Otherwise, maybe I got a few extra charges on my card. So it might not be so wise if I didn't do that correctly.
Thanks, Kris.
Enjoy. He's just got blocks. That's the Kris Johnston wing, we call it now, and it's just vacant. But if he wants, he can timeshare.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like Howard Hughes.
Yes.
You just take the whole wing
the whole
of the hotel.
thing.
Yeah.
If you need it, you got it. Your thoughts on Kris Johnston? 780-218-9999, or in the Nasty Chat on YouTube. Kate Riley says Bettman hates when Canadian teams make it to the finals. Can we just stop with this stuff? Like he in a roundabout way saved this franchise, did he not? In a sense,
not in a roundabout way. He did.
No, but I don't want to hit people with that too hard.
You don't want to truth bomb them.
Oh, because it's not. I understand. Two things can be correct. I understand that you need the American market, right? Okay.
Yes.
Everybody needs the American market.
Hockey's always had the American market.
Sure, but certainly if you have an LA versus Chicago or a New York versus whatever, understandable. I think that if you're running a league, you'd say, hey, those are two big centers. Would like same as baseball, same as anything really. However, in this case, I don't think Gary Bettman's losing sleep looking at, as Kris mentioned, the amount of money exchanging hands, the amount of, I mean, this is a market which is smaller in terms of pop, right? I mean, there are things. However, when it comes to the hockey and when it comes to the business of hockey,
well, just to what Kris Johnston said, Bettman is here observing, and he knows what the Edmonton market has been, knows what it is now, knows what the Oiler organization has gone through to get to this point.
Yeah.
I've never bought into the fact that Gary Bettman dislikes or hates, if you want to use that term. He was the commissioner of record that helped get the Jets back, right?
Oh,
I know people are going to say, they're going to go down south and maybe get a team back in Atlanta again and forsake Quebec City.
God forbid.
He works for the owners.
Yes.
He works for the owners.
Like a good commissioner does.
Right. And the owners they can read a spreadsheet like anybody else. And they'll go, looks like we're making money. We like this guy.
Chris Sadaway says Oilers were never leaving. Look, I didn't want to get into that whole thing, but Gary Bettman resides in the state of Florida, and I don't need the conspiratorial. Well, he's.
Can I share a story?
Like, it's good that a market like that wins, but do you think that really makes? Do you think it's good for the league? Like, do you think nobody cares?
Can I share a story,
please?
Okay,
get hot.
My dear friend, Bryn Griffiths, who works at 880 Ched and is the host of the pre and post Oilers show. Many years ago, when I was over with the Eskimos, Bryn was down the street with the Oilers as the assistant PR guy to Bill Tuelli. And Bryn got called in over the summer. And Bill said, have a seat. What do you think about Houston? How quickly could you wrap up your life here and move? It was real. It was real. So the idea that they would never move is wrong. The Jets moved. Quebec moved.
And it has nothing to do with the love of the team or the fandom of the market.
No, it doesn't. But those things, that thing, when they trooped Michael Larg through to kick the tires for buying the team, he was likely going to keep them here. He was a fraud. No, those things, Les Alexander and Houston, they were real. Here to tell you.
It's good we can get that account because.
Well, I bristle at the idea. Maybe you don't like Bettman the way he.
You don't have to. I'm not saying you have to like the guy. You can do whatever you want. But this whole conspiratorial fashion of, hating Canada and being
not true.
Again, as you said, commissioners work for the owners. If you want to blame it. That's how that usually goes, right? Like he's
fair,
he's a mouthpiece.
Yeah.
The Doc in the Nasty Chat. Also, Bettman plays an excellent heel. Nobody in sports embraces being booed like him. It's a good gimmick that he's leaned into. Yeah, he has, and that's good for him.
I don't think he ever consciously sat down and said, "Look, I'm going to create a persona of a New York lawyer who's running a league that is in both countries, but is more avidly followed by an entire nation like hockey is," right? I don't think he set out to create that or that was conscious, but seeing it, I mean, anytime he walks on an ice or gets introduced, it's almost like now it's sort of a rite of passage. Okay, we got to boo this guy. All right, do it, boo.
Silence would be worse. At least he's getting a relax, sure. Like people should just be stone silent. Like when Smitty the Welder says, sorry, but it doesn't matter who he saved or who he brought back. No Canadian team has won since he has been commish. Suck on that.
But is it the commissioner's role to guarantee?
Well, that's...
Like
this year,
again,
a Canadian team has to win it. The next year, an American team has to win it.
I need to refresh the browser.
There are how many Canadian teams compared to how many like the ratio, I guess, of that, and like
his job is to maximize returns for the owners, run a financially viable, solvent, professional sports league, the best hockey league in the world.
Not that everybody gets a lick.
No,
that's not.
I mean, if winning was easy, we'd all do it.
Sure. McDiesel says the roulette board on the front page of the Sun that year, Quebec Oilers made me sick. Do you remember this spread on the Sun? It was. Yes, I can imagine. I don't know what he's talking about.
I do. No. That's a good pull there. I do remember that. Yeah.
Let's move on then. I didn't want to kind of get into those waters, but I thought I'd be addressing because I just hate this whole, Canadians.
Well, it's easy. It's tired. It's easy to get into that conversation, and it's tired. And let's, when the Oilers prevail in 6 and Draisaitl wins the con, as I've predicted, that conversation can, if it doesn't end, at least stop.
You're going out on a ledge there with that prediction.
It's really bold.
Dolphin Nation says, hey guys, where's Tommy going to be tonight? Great question, Dolphin Nation. Ice House, Canadian Ice House downtown. It's the Brew House Ice House in Ice District. He'll be there 5 o'clock for the GCL Diesel pregame show, and you can stick around and harass the guy, albeit gently.
Who else is with him on the show? Just give me the roster of people.
I mean, he'll have Cass. I'm sure Bernstein will be down there, like Dennis Like it's a come and go. It's like the Hangout, but a little more like PG-13. It's a little more. It's because it's in a bar. And
yes.
People are vaping.
I understand.
That type
dynamic.
of thing.
I've done those shows.
Let's get to the Play Alberta early bird of the day here. PlayAlberta.ca is where you can find it. Go to PlayAlberta.ca or download the app. You click on the sports banner. You go to the left-hand side. Odds boosts, daily specials, EST specials. You'll click on that. And the early bird for Dusty will be out soon. That's where you can go and find it. And Dave, if we could have those codes again.
Indeed. Deposit $20 or more to get a $50 casino bonus using promo code EST Casino. And again, we remind you, as we have done all week, it is usable for new and existing players. And I draw your attention to this pamphlet, gamesense.ca. Check it out, and always play responsibly.
Thank you, Dave. And another tease as well. Play Alberta has generously gifted us a bit of a prize, and we'll be doing that a little later on in the show, probably during the third hour. So keep in tune for that. Dave Jamieson in for Dustin Nielsen, Lieutenant Eric, and YouTube Trev here. He'll have a sports update for Park Mazda. On the way, we got the fan zone, and that's good for the Italian Center shop. And we'll probably dive into a little bit more of the Oilers' avail yesterday from the podium ahead of tonight's Game 2. This is the Nielson Show, presented by Southport Chevrolet here on Edmonton Sports Talk.
The Edmonton Oilers and Florida Panthers hit the ice for Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final later tonight at 6. You can join Tom Gazzola live at the Canadian Ice House for the GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows starting at 5 right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Tyrese Halliburton wins it for the Pacers in Game 1 of the NBA Finals with 0.3 seconds left on the clock. 111-110 is the score. Game 2 goes tomorrow night. The Edmonton Stingers are in action later tonight in Montreal to take on the Alliance, this game going at 6. Week 1 of the CFL got underway last night. The Saskatchewan Roughriders beat the Redblacks 31-26. Roughriders QB Trevor Harris completed 19 of 26 passes for 277 yards and 2 touchdown throws in the game. The Toronto Argonauts are in Montreal for their first games of the season. Kickoff for this one going at 5:30, and the Elks take the field for Game 1 of their season Saturday night at BC Place. Round 2 of the Canadian Open is underway. Torbjorn Olesen is leading the way, tied for first, -1 through 8, and Canadian Taylor Pendrith tied for 9th through round 1. In the NFL, Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers agreed to a 1-year contract pending a physical. This will be Aaron Rodgers' 21st season in the NFL. And that's the ball game as the Toronto Blue Jays take the series with a 9-1 win over the Phillies. The Blue Jays now hit the road to take on the Twins later today. First pitch at 6:10. And the Edmonton Riverhawks complete the sweep against the Victoria Harbour Cats with the 7-1 win. The Hawks hit the mound later today as they welcome in the Bellingham Bells. First pitch at 7:05. The Sports Update brought to you by the fine folks at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, your dealer for life.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Want me to play?
Step inside Rogers Place. Play La Bamba. Baby!
Play La Bamba, baby!
Well, we're a dangerous team when we're rolling, and we're healthy, and we are healthy.
Cup is on the line, baby, come and get it done. 16 wins, yeah, they're going on a run. Looking to advance, going deep in the dance. Hop on the bandwagon, let's hear the fans. The fans.
Special place to play, honestly. So much history, these fans. It's great to hear their sport.
Razzling and dazzling every single night. Clubs coming up, baby, gonna be a fight. 6 games, 5 games, how about a sweep? Ticket prices, yeah, they're gonna be steep, yeah! Yeah! Come on! It's the playoffs! Crank it up! It's the playoffs! Take the cup! Let's go win the Stanley! Ooh, gotta get the cup! Let's go win the Stanley! Come on, lift it up! Let's go win the Stanley! Waited long enough. It's time. No more wait for the oil. It's the fate, yeah. Listen, first gear, second gear, third gear, go. McDavid 97 needs a one-man show. Draisaitl, Iverson, gotta love the nude. Bush, Skinner, and Picks need to be huge. Be huge. Be huge. They gotta squeeze a little, squeeze a little, squeeze a little more. Get the bottom 6 to find a way to score. One time, overtime, gotta find a way. Jam-packed moss pit going insane. Yeah! Yeah! Cheer a little more. It's the playoffs. Crank it up. It's the playoffs. Take the cup. Let's go win the Stanley. Ooh, gotta get the cup. Let's go win the Stanley. Come on, lift it up. Let's go win the Stanley. Waited long enough.
7:36 on Game 2 Friday. It is look, 22 today. It's going to be a great day. No storms or any of that in the forecast. Looks like the Moss Pit will be rolling.
3 o'clock it opens up.
I spell it M-A-A-S.
To as a tip of the hat to our friend Jason Moss,
who is also a big part of this community. Bozone, former...
lives here.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
Isn't he out in the park?
You can call it the Moss or the Moss Pit.
Yeah.
Either or.
Matters not.
Yeah. Dave Jamieson in for Dustin Nielsen and Lieutenant Eric. YouTube Trev, you heard there. Sports update for Park Mazda. Coming up later on in the show, third hour, kind of easy trivia, 3 questions too many, an orange and blue breakfast where we'll take a deep analytical dive into tonight's game. Dustin Nielsen will be joining us, CFL insider and host of the show from Montreal ahead of tonight's Alouettes Argonauts game. Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week, Radler of the Week, which is It's nice that you're here for this one. It's a
citrus.
Oh yeah, a little bit. It'll fit the day. I
haven't had a Rattler in quite some time.
It's going to be a busy day. It's going to be a long day with a lot of drinking.
Pace yourself.
Yes, started with a Rattler. I think that's the best part, and the wrap for William Huff. But let's get into right now the fan zone for fans first. If you're looking to go to tonight's game, as Troll said in the Paris Jewelers inbox here, 780-218-9999. Use Fans First if you want to save going to the game. Simple as that. www.fansfirst.ca. Buy fans for fans, no fees, Dave. Get your tickets for the Oilers Cup Series. We're not going to, I know the nasty chat. We got through the hatred of Canada.
They would like to take us in a different direction.
We want to keep going into the love of the States and the hate of Canada, but we're moving on. We do have, Trev, you mentioned there's a little bit more audio visual.
We got Darnell Nurse and Jake Walman in the queue.
Ooh.
Let's load it up.
You want to go with are they together at the podium?
Look at that.
Yes, they are.
Oh, I'll take that.
Here they are from yesterday. Jake Walman and Darnell Nurse ahead of tonight's game 2.
We talked, and you guys have to answer a lot of questions about defending, but it just seems like late in games, especially recently, you guys have really locked it down. What do you attribute that to from the third period on, just closing the door?
Yeah, I think, like you said, I think we kind of find our way, get better throughout the game. Maybe in crunch time we dial it in a little more, but ideally we like to do that from the start, kind of every game.
Right side, front row.
Hey, Darnell, I know last year you guys were kind of a little banged up. I just want to ask you about the physicality against the Panthers. It seems like this year, at least in game 1, you guys ramped it up. Is it just a matter of you guys feeling better going into the game? You weren't as worn down, or how are you seeing that physical battle against them?
Yeah, I think obviously, our team is healthier this year than we were last year. Also a team built for a lot of that, the physical edge and whatnot. Our team's not afraid of that, so... obviously, playing a really, really good opponent that brings that physicality each night, and we're gonna have to match that.
Left side, third row.
Jake and Darnell, the Panthers, they love that ring. They come down the one side, they'll ring it on the other side. So when the D-man's going back, usually on the wall, you're on your backhand to try to pick it up off the boards. And they do that consistently. How do you change and adapt? What do you think you can do better? Evander said you'll make some adjustments to come out cleaner as a team. How challenging is it for you always having to retreat on your backhand? And then how can you counter that?
Yeah, it's, we expect it. Obviously, on the backhand's not ideal, but kind of trying to prepare for that, kind of know what's coming, know their forecheck's coming hard. And, I think for the most part we did a pretty good job, but trying to find a way to kind of counter that maybe. And they're so aggressive, maybe trying to sneak past it a little bit. Yeah, but we'll make adjustments and figure out a better way to beat it.
Right side, second row.
Darnell, late in the regular season, you guys had a lot of pieces out. I remember McDavid saying something like, "We're not the walking wounded. We're going to be fine." Has that basically played out? And did it really just take a couple of games in the LA series just to kind of get everybody clicking again?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, playing the game yesterday after being off for a week it's tough to find your legs. Sometimes it's tough to find your timing. So you can just imagine with a lot of the pieces, they're out weeks or months. So when they came back into our lineup, and obviously you get to the playoffs, it's a heightened environment as well. Everyone's kind of playing at their best. So for us, it did take that couple games, and we've continued to build. And as the series and playoffs have gone on, our team, you can just see the cohesion, and the guys that haven't played in the lineup all year long, you can see them feeling better and better. So it's we've had a lot of belief in our group since before the playoffs, and it's nice to continue to grow it now.
Right side, second row.
Jake, that game 1 looked fast, physical, high execution, 2 good teams, some bumps and bruises. What was it like to play in that game? What's it going to be like to play in potentially 7 of these types of games?
Yeah, it was fun for sure. Like you said, it was high energy. I think obviously these are the 2 best teams in the NHL going at it. So it's competitive. You're trying to win every inch on the ice, and tight margins out there, but just kind of playing in the moment, kind of being ready for it. And I think we're all putting our best foot forward. Every line, every guy on our team in our room is dialed in and ready to go. So it's exciting. I think every game will be the exact same like that.
Right side, fourth row.
Hey guys, this could be for either of you. You guys are now 4-0 in overtime, and I just want to know if you can take us sort of inside the dressing room before overtime, where you get the sort of mental resolve to bear down and, you know, kind of take control of the game and effectively win the game when it's at its most important point.
I think our room's pretty. I said it over the course of the year, but even the playoffs, we could be up 1-0, down 1-0, going into the playoffs. Going to OT, our room is always kind of the same. It's pretty calm, and guys are just focused on the task at hand. So I think it just comes with the maturity of the group and just knowing no matter what situation, at some point someone's going to get a chance, and it's playing a good, hard, strong defensive style, and when that opportunity or that chance comes, making the most of it.
Right side, fourth row.
Jake, your first Stanley Cup Final appearance last night. Did that game feel different, and what does it do for you to get that game under your belt as you move forward in this series?
Yeah, it lived up to the hype for sure for me. Just dreaming about that, and then biggest thing is probably I got a lot more texts from friends and family this game than any other. But yeah, it's a great experience. It's cool. Wouldn't want to be doing it with any other group of guys. They've been great to me since I've been here, and looking forward to keep that going. Every game is going to be a challenge, and especially against the team we're playing. I think I watched a lot last year when these guys were playing, and I think we're playing against a better Florida team than they did last year. So it's I felt it. It's intense, and we're just putting our best foot forward, and I think we're all capable of that.
We'll take a few more. Left side, front row.
No laughing there from Jake Walman. Hey, all serious. Not like on the ice the other night against
getting a no-six face.
Well, yeah. Darnell, Jake Walman there at the podium yesterday. Of course, we talked about Walman, one of many emerging cult figures on this team.
I think he is the leaderboard as we make the clubhouse turn in terms of guys who when this series is over, he is going to move up, if you will, in terms of the public consciousness.
And I think we've seen how Knoblauch handles the lineup and has handled the lineup through this run. I mean, you look at a guy like Jeff Skinner, who played the game and then was out for a long time. He goes back in, scores against Dallas. Okay, that's kind of weird and in a strange little stat.
Weird but cool.
But and a guy like Kasperi Kapanen as well. Like you have guys that not everybody can play all at once, but guys that have hunger to come in. A Troy Stetcher, for example, serviceable. Kelvin Pickard, serviceable. Guys that are waiting in the wings to do what is asked and not ask for any more, but know their role. And I mean, if that doesn't define a championship makeup, I don't know. You know, there are a lot of things that do define it, but that to me is a key point where you have guys on a team that have the hunger to get in when they are called upon, will go in, do a job, and not try to overdo it. We've seen that with Darnell Nurse in the past. Whenever he's off of his game, well, he's trying too much. You have guys now in a system, knowing their roles, knowing what they have to do. And I mean, all you can do is sit back and watch. It's a beautiful thing when it all comes together like that. And the health plays a part in this because, you need people there not to be too reliant on these role players and this depth and these cult figures. But
let's go to the place where the Oilers win the Stanley Cup for a moment.
Yeah, we can,
I know everything is chronicled now. You got video crews following these guys everywhere, which, in where we live now, you demand that, right? As consumers, fans, whatever.
Yes.
But let's move like 10 years after the fact where you get the doc on this team, the kind of the definitive look at what this path to a Stanley Cup will
look. Pony Club. That's what they call it, hey?
Yeah. Well,
would you like me to explain that to you, Chris?
No, I'm aware of Chapel Road.
On the radio.
On the radio, yes. It's a hit with the young people. But no, where the look back at this particular Oilers team, we know the boys on the bus and all of what that was. I think it'd be a pretty cool story that gets told here.
Oh, yeah. And also the boys on the bus, the stories that weren't told.
And likely will remain as such only at the odd reunion.
Yeah. And Kelly's sometimes downtown. Or wherever. Maybe tonight at the Ice House with Tom Gazzola.
Remember everyone at their best.
Sure.
Yeah. No, but I'm interested because of the makeup of this team. And as you said, like
great characters, I think.
Those players who drop in and out. Stetcher's he is another guy that has, been a plug and play. I mean, more play because he was excellent, has been excellent with Darnell Nurse. Yeah, you're right. It is guys like that that become not defining characters in all of this, but really, really, really prominent supporting guys.
Yes, and what was the number there, Trev? 20 Oilers now have scored a goal.
20.
It was 20.
Ties a franchise record.
Emberson, Stetcher, and Josh Brown, I think they're the only ones that haven't had a goal.
Yeah.
So, I mean, proof's right there. It's a beautiful thing. And, there are times during this season that you look at this, we every second day we glance at this depth chart in the lines, and some days you're like,
Well, we've been through that time with this franchise.
Oh yeah, but even with this particular, I remember when Kapanen was scrap heaped off the Blues earlier in the season.
Yes, I do.
And some of these guys, and Walman as well. CJ mentioned it. And Button was on this earlier this week. You can't make trades for Cale Makars and Nathan McKinnon's every day of the week. That's not what happens. But you acquire guys with roles, and certainly Jake Walman wasn't a sexy quote-unquote pickup, but somebody that, again, puck-moving defenseman, somebody that's fit right in. So, again, it takes a village type of thing to borrow that
when
phrase.
Klingberg signed, I was sort of like,
we laughed.
It's another.
We said, what's going on here?
You're hoping for the original version of Klingberg. You're thinking, okay, is he going to be able to conjure up anything from when he was at his best?
Yeah.
And we're seeing a reasonable facsimile of him at his best.
And then you just throw in a Matthias Ekholm. Not many teams get that parachuted in.
And Evander Kane.
Sure, yeah.
Those are late season in-house pickups.
Kane with the LTIR, and again, if you're going to complain about other teams doing it, you might as well take advantage of it yourself, and they did, and that's great. I mean, it's don't hate the player, hate the game type of thing, and if that's the loophole rule, do it until it's closed. But Ekholm getting inserted now, very rarely that you can play so well, and then you get to this point of the Stanley Cup playoffs, the final, and you say, hey, 1A, you're in. What a luxury to have. And he looks great. We were told and we heard that he was pretty bad off.
What is Stoff? I listen to him a lot, as we all should. He believes it's the best defensive core since 87.
Given the way the game is played right now, yeah, sure.
That this is the best defense the Oilers have had. And not even speaking to the concept of team defense and the willingness and the buy-in.
People have more maybe aesthetically favorites of names of the past or whatever.
I understand. And yes, and Chris Pronger there as well.
Luby Vishnowsky,
the group as it's constructed right now has never been at this level.
Yes.
For a long, long time.
And to match the style of today's game, right, as it is now. Yeah, it's a few messages in the nasty chat here. We've come a long way from the Anton Lander centering Hull and Ebbs. I liked Hull and Ebbs. Kate Riley says, wish they could have won a cup, but the Oilers team was just too terrible back then. Yeah, well, that goes back to that whole timing thing, too. Good players, but just not the right time. McDiesel says, Ken Holland to W. And I think that was probably going towards the Ekholm, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So anyways, your thoughts on all that, 780-218-9999, Paris Drewler's inbox. I think I do have a text of the day for A&W.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we'll see if you can beat this. I'll just read it right now. When you lose track of your tall, skinny friend at the bar, then spot him in the corner making out with Renee. That's like an anaconda taking down a...
Dear Lord.
Okay. That's okay. I didn't cue you up for it, so you're forgiven there, but...
That's a hot take.
Oh. Well, it is too.
This is like an anaconda taking down a pig.
I'll do this again. When you lose track of your tall, skinny friend at the bar, then spot him in the corner making out with Renee.
This is like an anaconda taking down a pig.
Vance Van Vandervan, always a wordsmith. So if you think you can top that, the bar has been set.
What a horrible image.
Well, hey, theater of the mind. Hey,
I know.
This hour of the day.
Yeah,
well, yeah. Let's get into the. That's good for the Italian Center shop right now, and I kind of want to go off the ice and into the.
Where would you like to go?
The festivities, the pomp, the pageantry,
the sights, the sounds, and the pageantry,
and the smells.
Yes.
For the Italian Center shop, if you're looking to entertain tonight, perhaps if you're not going out, Head down to the Italian Center. They'll hook you up. They got the paninos. They got the house-made, couple of nice trays of lasagna tonight for the game, and a couple of cream horns to finish that off. You can get down there. Locally made pasta, sauces, the whole bit, and produce as well. I mean, it is like a grocery shop, but a lot of in-house made take-home and heat-up menu items, and as well as I always say, just hit up the deli. Prosciutto, please. Yes, thin sliced.
Lob it over the counter and just drop it right in like a pelican.
200, 300 grams. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's good. And we talked a little bit about this off air, myself, Trev, and Dave here. These are the days, my friends, right?
We thought they'd never end.
Well, and they will. Friday, just going to keep a ledger here. Friday, today, Game 2, your two favorite words in the world of sport.
Yes.
Game 2. Oilers, 1-0 series lead going into Game 2. So, the nerves aren't as high as they would have been had they dropped the opener, which, here we are. Good weather.
Mm-hmm. It's all here, Eric.
Glorious Suns.
Yes, they're performing
tonight.
And
lay it on the line. Triumph.
Yeah.
You've seen Triumph?
No, I've not seen them live. I mean, obviously, I'm well aware of their catalog. And as we were, I don't know what we were doing, check out Triumph at the US Festival, which was for back in 1983, 84, somewhere in there. They won over the crowd, a power trio from Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so it's just the three of them.
They have a documentary that runs on one of the channels now,
Yes.
over and over and over again.
Yeah, it's well worth checking out. So those guys could play.
Rip City Step says Edge of Glory. Is that the name of what we're? This is it? Are we on the edge of?
Oh, you're talking about branding.
I think he's
this whole
summing up the
experience
whole.
thing?
Yeah,
sure. What? Yeah,
but
that's great.
Glorious Suns Triumph. Are those the only two groups tonight? I think. Hey,
Yeah,
or
I think
is there
that's
another?
it for the
Yeah, to my knowledge, yes.
An opener, a comedian, taking the stage like a
Brent Butt.
Hello, Edmonton. Yeah,
on the stage.
Wouldn't that be something? So they got them down there tonight at 4. Tommy Gazzola, GCL Diesel pre and post game show, 5:00 at the Ice House. Get down there. Tommy loves the general public. He loves the carnival atmosphere.
Man of the people.
He will be he gives a great hug. Hey, that back, like he's got a good
comes in.
Yeah, he's good full bodied individual. And then leading up to puck drop at 6. And if you're going to the game or you're just hanging out around there, the moss pit, etc., like Wheels does and a lot of other nasties, make a day out of it. This is it. Take a half day. Being that it is Friday, if this game 2 was on a Tuesday or whatever, I mean, you'd probably still be forgiven because it's the Cup, Dave. But it's a
want
Friday.
the Cup.
It's a Friday.
Yes, it is. What is the most creative lie you're going to tell a boss or have told a boss?
Do you even bother lying?
Oh, you just say I'm going and deal with it.
It's the Cup.
Yeah, just walk out. See you Monday.
That's future you's problem for Monday game 3. The game will be in Florida. You can go job hunting over the weekend. Get on the refresh that LinkedIn profile. You got 2 days off. Quit the job today. Get on the LinkedIn over the weekend. By Monday, you have a job and you're watching at home. Game 3.
Like nothing happened.
Simple as that. Yeah. So I don't even think you need to lie. Employers would understand.
I think most would.
And a good boss would say, maybe I got to man the pumps today. Or whatever. As a good...
You can get back to your roots. Help the guys in the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trev, you're a man about town. You're a youthful part of the station.
Of course.
Again, to refresh, you said it in the opening hour, but to people just joining us here on iHeart, TuneIn, and YouTube, you will be out tonight.
Yes, YTT will be having fun
Now
tonight.
you have nothing else has materialized since you first
I
said.
don't like
you haven't made a
making
plan.
plans.
Yeah, okay.
I like, what is the spur of the moment.
Yeah.
I live by that.
Yeah.
I have a hard time making plans. Because
you feel like you have to live up to them then.
Yeah,
or if it doesn't go,
there's something about just going out there and whatever happens.
Mm-hmm.
I've always done that. That's what I live by. So I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. Don't take it for granted. Anyone going out, I remember the year before I moved here, just seeing the videos of like what the city was like, and I'm just like, oh gosh, like I can't believe like I'm going to be. I'm going to be moving there in a year.
Gosh.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
And so I'm here now. I take full advantage of it when I can, and tonight I will be, and it's going to be awesome, and I'm going to celebrate it. Hopefully a victory with my friends, And I just can't wait. And yeah, you bring up an amazing point. The win that, winning game 1 was just huge for tonight because it would be a lot more stressful. But it's
still
a Friday.
fun, but it'd be a different.
It's going to be a totally different vibe out there. So you can enjoy it. The Oilers are up so far. I'm going to have, it's going to be awesome. JMO, I might even call you.
No, you won't.
You guys should take a lime together.
Please don't.
I want to see you two liming on it.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
What are you doing later, JMO?
I'll be observing
across
it.
the high level.
Yeah, I'll just be observing
FaceTime
no, please don't.
I'll give you his number there.
Tube is going to get arrested, before this series is over.
Yeah, he might get a peace officer will lay a hand on the shoulder and then
Dusty,
then we go from there.
it's Trevor.
They're
Can you
taking
get
me
someone
away.
to cover for me? I won't be available for the next day or two.
They took my nipple rings.
You can't take me.
They confiscated my.
Yes.
You can't take me.
You'd put up a fight.
I would.
There was a guy trying to climb the fence. We don't condone bad behavior. I just want to preface by saying that. But there was a picture of a guy jumping the fence. And there's also that security guy that's doing the splits in the pit. Is there not? Is that a bit? Like, is he
I don't
real?
know. I don't even know if he is a security guard.
I feel like you can't do your job. So he's impersonating security. That could land you.
I think that can
that's
get you.
not good.
That's not
I think
good.
that can get you.
That's a crime.
It is a crime. Yeah.
You're
Cosplaying as
impersonating a
or a
piece.
military or
Absolutely.
anything, right?
It should.
Yeah.
Don't do that stuff.
Nolan from St. Albert in the Paris Jewelers inbox. ZZ Top at River Cree if anyone is into that.
Oh, snap.
Little old band from Texas.
So if you want
talk about
to,
a 3-piece power trio.
I'm sure.
How?
I love the Top, man.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Billy Gibbons.
Yeah.
Dusty Hill is dead.
Double back again.
Dusty Hill passed. It's Billy Gibbons
isn't-
and Frank Beard, who doesn't have a beard, on drums. I got that right? Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Corey B says, Trevor, I'll find you. Yeah, with the Liam Neeson. Yeah.
That was good.
I like that. Corey B will probably be out tonight somewhere. Where are you going? Let us know. 780-218-9999 or in the nasty chat.
That's good.
Tearaway Pants. Dave's YTT impression is eerily accurate. I believe in these guys.
That hurts my
YTT
feelings.
probably. Dave, ask him if you can get a win, yeah.
Hey, Trev.
Yeah.
You down for a win, yeah?
Win, yeah.
How did that start?
Well,
never mind, right,
no,
Dave? Just
most-
let it go.
most people
It was
know.
a viral bit, and then we just had a little play on it.
You're like Gretzky, and he's like Biz Nasty, explaining they play it on the radio, man.
Yeah.
Viral bit.
Get to
it was viral. It went viral.
Okay, it went viral.
But it was...
The only one I liked was that British lady. She's like, "Can I get a hoo-yah?" And she laughs really good. Yeah, like a lot of people, there's a variation on a theme.
There is a
but people from all
variation.
over the world did it in their own little cultures. And
yes.
yeah. Well,
Bringing us
and
together.
now we're doing it here. Yes. 7:59. That's good for the Italian Center shop. Look, I might be going out tonight. I might not be going out tonight. If I do, well, it'll be a barbecue for a friend in town.
Hey, nothing wrong
Jill
with that.
Foot.
An old comrade.
Old Gil Foot.
Good old Barbie.
She's in town. But it'll be a, see, your husband's going to the game tonight. So it'll be like a girls thing. So I don't know if I need to I'll go there and have a few, and they'll have the game on. But if I don't go out tonight, maybe the Italian Center shop beckons.
Why wouldn't you?
Couple pies in the oven.
When you talk about the cream horns, you know what I think immediately of? Joe Horn.
Oh, yeah, Joe Horn.
You
Okay,
remember
that's
him?
not where I was thinking that you would
I
go.
know.
But
Yeah.
he had the Sharpie, right? Or the phone?
I
He had the phone.
think Joe Horn was phone.
Phone, yeah. Owens was Sharpie.
Yes.
Perfect. Italian Center Shop. Go check them out today. Cream horns, sandwiches, lasagnas, the whole bit. That's good for the Italian Center. Okay, 8 o'clock. If you want to play trivia, third and final hour coming up here, leading into Game 2 tonight, and it's the longest pregame in the city, let me remind you. We're off the air here at 9 on the Nielsen Show. You then got the hangout 9 to 11 with Maddie. I assume the glue guy, he's a Friday fixture, although Maddie said he didn't need him last week, which caused quite a stir here in the offices, Dave, let me tell you. We got, after that, the lock shop. We got 2 guys and a goalie day Friday. We got a mixed kind of host with the Oil Stream today, pardon me. Tommy will be doing that. Also today, EST Afternoons with Gager and Hernan. And then the Reed Wilkins Show, 3 to 5, leading up to the GCL Diesel pre and post. So it's 6 to 6. We're leading you up 12 hours of pregame. Stick with us throughout the day. As I said, 1 more hour here on the Nielsen Show. Dave Jamieson in for Dustin Nielsen. We'll be joined by Dusty in this third hour, midway through. But if you want to play trivia right now, $25 to Mr. Mike's is on the line. You can win it. 780-218-9999. Say, Trev, I want to play trivia. 780-218-9999. We'll pick a lucky texter and get to them after a sports update for Windsor Plywood Leduc. It's the Nielson Show, presented by South Fort Chevrolet here on Edmonton Sports Talk.
The Edmonton Oilers and Florida Panthers hit the ice for Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final later tonight at 6. You can join Tom Gazzola live at the Canadian Ice House for GCL Diesel pre- and post-game show starting at 5 right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Tyrese Halliburton wins it for the Pacers in Game 1 of the NBA Finals with 0.3 seconds left on the clock. 111-110 is the score. Game 2 goes tomorrow night. The Edmonton Stingers are in action later tonight in Montreal to take on the Alliance. This game going at 6. Week 1 of the CFL got underway last night. The Saskatchewan Roughriders beat the Redblacks 31-26. Roughriders QB Trevor Harris completed 19 of 26 passes for 277 yards and 2 touchdown throws in the game. The Toronto Argonauts are in Montreal for their first games of the season. Kickoff for this one going at 5:30. And the Elks take the field for Game 1 of their season Saturday night at BC Place. Round 2 of the Canadian Open is underway. Cameron Champ is alone at the top, tied for first actually, -2 through 9, and Canadian Taylor Pendrith tied for 13th, -5 through round 1. In the NFL, Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers agree to a 1-year contract pending a physical. This will be Aaron Rodgers' 21st season in the NFL. And that's the ball game as the Toronto Blue Jays take the series with a 9-1 win over the Phillies. The Blue Jays now hit the road to take on the Twins later today, first pitch at 6:10. The Edmonton Riverhawks complete the sweep against the Victoria Harbour Cats with the 7-1 win. The Hawks hit the mound later today as they welcome in the Bellingham Bells, first pitch going at 7:05. This sports update brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding area since 1993. Doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff at Windsor Plywood Leduc. I'm YouTube Trev. You're up to date.
South Fort Chevrolet at this time this month, employee pricing on Silverado 1500s, Silverado HDs, best deals this month. Go check them out or online, www.southfortchev.com. EST, of course, our presenting sponsor, Play Alberta, where Dusty's Early Bird will be getting up there soon. Keep in mind, Maddie will have something up there too during the hangout, and Jay's Play of the Day coming up here 3 to 5 on the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. And as promised, later in this hour, a little gift from our friends at Play Alberta, a little contest that you can get into. And, I'll give you another hint, score some tickets to an event happening here in Edmonton very soon. We are coming to you live from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio. Fill your belly with a little Popeyes today prior to tonight's Game 2, because it's going to be a long one. You need your sustenance. So get down there and take advantage of their pickle value menu going on right now. YouTube Trev is on the phone right now, making a call, getting somebody on the line. Dave Jamieson, again, thank you again for the week. It's been fun. Hell of a fun week. Yeah. I wouldn't dream of setting up games 1 and 2 of a Stanley Cup final with anyone but you. I'm the
only guy qualified.
Yeah.
To set up a game 2.
And very cool.
What do we got, Trev?
This is Jesse.
Jesse, all right.
Jesse, pull Jarvie.
And may I remind you, Eric, and the viewers and listeners that Kind of Easy Trivia is presented by Mr. Mike's.
Go.
Go. Okay, Mr. Mike's is turning up the sizzle with Platter Palooza. From barbecue rib platters to coastal combos with lobster and prawns. It's big flavor all summer long. Plus, enter for your shot at sizzling summer prizes. Get into Mr. Mike's. Platter Palooza is on now. Mr. Mike's. Eat locally. Enjoy casually. All right, Jesse, you know how we play this game, don't you?
Yep. Ready to go.
All right. We'll ask the first question. Start the ticker. What game number will be played tonight in the Stanley Cup Final?
Game 2.
Who does Jake Walman play for?
Edmonton Oilers.
Is Zach Hyman playing in the Stanley Cup Final?
Unfortunately not.
Which professional football league opened its regular season last night?
CFL.
Aaron Rodgers is signed with which NFL team?
Don't know.
That's okay.
And Sergio Ramos gets in the
You're going to pop it, or Mr. Blue.
Oh, is that dirty?
It's okay on the dismount to not get it right.
It's a wet dream of orgasmic proportions. Oh, is that dirty?
Frustration sets in and the emotion goes out, and then you just start playing by yourself.
Oh, is that dirty?
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
That was Rick.
He's okay. I reached out to him.
Oh, did you?
I asked him. I didn't need to. Don't need to press him.
Not match fit.
Just not match fit. No, he's on the LTIR.
Yes.
All right. Congratulations to Jesse. Look, when you asked him the Hyman question, the correct answer would have been not yet.
Oh, you're hedging
as some
the
are
bets.
saying. Well, hey, I mean, if this goes to 9 games,
But
he
isn't
could
it-
be.
There's lots of pins and things. Like it was I
It's
still don't quite
dislocated.
understand.
Acupuncture.
Oh, that's no. I look again. I've looked at it like we all have, and I just wonder. God, you got badly injured in what looked to be just sort of a drive-by.
For the way he was playing hockey too, it doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
It's that whole thing like you're a stunt man for hire, and you pass away by choking on a piece of chicken or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
it's just one of those things where it's a bizarre, like a skinny
Yes.
dude at a bar with
Yeah.
Renee and and then the football question I thought rather interesting as well, because you asked which pro football league started. There's 2 unless you're thinking of like NFL Europe or whatever those other ones. CFL?
USFL? I know
It
there
was
was a
a
little
good
bit of a-
guess. It was a good guess because the
CFL?
NFL, yes, it is June, and the NFL never sleeps, Dave.
No, it doesn't. And
So it
and
could
I
have been thinking of
understand
like, reporting for.
You got it. We're off and running with
He's
three
off to
down
Mr.
football.
Mike's.
Yes.
3 questions too many right now, brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, where they'll be hosting a little bit of a pre-party themselves at Park. No, I just don't show up there and ask where the party is, but it's always a party at Park Mazda. ParkMazda.ca or in Sherwood Park. Check them out. Tell him EST sent you, and Mitch Lewicki will hook you up. He's a great guy, and he gets it. Social medias, boys, once again, going around the horn. Today, Trev, maybe we'll start with you if you're, I didn't want to go to you if you're...
No, you're good. You can follow me on Twitter or X at YouTube_Trev. 3 away from 1,000. Let's get it, baby.
3?
3.
Oh.
Come on. Do it.
Why are you looking at me? Do I need to follow you? I guess.
Are
so.
you not following me?
I probably am, Trev. I'm guessing. I don't know. I'll look later. I'll look later. I'll look into
I'm
it, Trev.
sad now. I actually am. I look up to you.
Leave it. No, you don't. Leave
I
it
do.
with me. Leave it with me.
I'll unfollow you then, J-Mo.
Okay.
Whoa.
No,
Do you
I
follow
won't.
him?
No, yeah, of course
Yeah.
I do.
Why?
I like everything that he posts up
Yeah.
there. I liked your thing yesterday. on the
What did I
Elks.
do yesterday on the Elks? Oh yes, yes.
You're only
yes.
good for DMs on that website. You really...
Yeah.
And you're on Instagram as well.
YouTube_Trev.
That's it.
You don't
Okay.
have to follow.
I'm
me.
probably asking the wrong guys, but have either of you done a full-on like digital cleanse and dropped stuff on social media? I realize because you do this every day.
Shut down accounts, like move on.
Yeah.
Well, that's if I didn't do this, I would be, it'd be very liberating. I toy around with the idea in my mind sometimes, and I get like excited.
During COVID, I did.
Oh, did you?
Back home, yeah.
See, that's when people got addicted to it.
Yeah.
Which is funny. And you went off of it.
I went off of it. Yeah.
And what was that moment that tipped it for you, where you said, "Gall dar," as you would say, "Gosh darn."
I was gosh.
Gosh darn.
I don't know. It was kind of the same thing. Like I spend too much time on it. I was like, this is I feel like a good time, just because if I didn't, I feel like I would have been on it every single day, which I would have been for sure.
Okay.
So I took advantage of fishing. That's what I was doing. Fishing every single day, JMO.
Self-awareness there from young Trev, hey?
Yeah.
Where can people follow you online?
Well, I wish they wouldn't, but it's at the Dave Jamieson, and you can find me doing something on Instagram occasionally.
On the X.
On the
right,
X.
as they say. What are you, just quickly here, the Dave Jamieson.
Yeah. I don't know what I did yesterday. I
Trouble finding you here.
There was a time, probably for all of us, you know, that I did I will lay claim to. I think I was the first ever tweet from the Edmonton Eskimos.
Oh, okay.
When we got
Twitter. When the minute was new. Back when it was a fun place to be.
In its infancy.
Yeah. You actually retweeted Pro Am Sports. I'm glad you brought this up. Leon Draisaitl overtime winner, Game 1 goal in celebration framed 20 by 29 canvas. You can pre-order online today at proamsports.ca or check them out, 128th Ave St. Albert Trail.
Are you not fascinated how quickly they turn that stuff around?
It's a good shot.
Yeah, it's a great shot.
No, yeah. Well, with them, no, I'm not fascinated. I just know that's how they do.
They are masters of their domain.
You also retweeted a scam alert from the BC Lions.
Oh, yes.
That scammers are posing as CFL reps inviting vendors to our home opener for a fee to steal credit card info.
Trust no one.
Man, it's getting crazy out there.
It's nasty out there.
Lions, eh?
Yeah. Well, anywhere.
Well, yes, but...
So help our friends out.
Yeah, your Twitter sure is something. Anyways, here's an actual tweet from you. May 16. Leafs miss a guy like Pat Boutet for an elimination game.
See, that's one of the things. No, Pat Boutet is I like to throw out really, really obscure guys and just nudge myself into the hockey conversation, which is way too serious sometimes. Yeah. Way too serious.
You're keeping it late.
Yes.
Question number 1 for 3 questions too many, gentlemen. Yeah. And you play along as well, listening out there, 780-218-9999, Paris Jewelers inbox or in the nasty chat. Which of the cult-like heroes on the Oilers roster will emerge tonight?
Ooh.
Or be most fawned upon and talked about heading into Game 3.
So these will be dark horses, if you will.
Yes, we're not. You can't say Connor McDavid.
No.
Walman, I think, took the cake. Walman or Podkolzin, right? Those were kind of the names we were bandying around yesterday.
Well, and Kapanen.
And Kapanen. Okay, so you can have those 3. But if you were to pick one, if you're to settle one, thinking of how Game 1 went, assuming how Game 2 is going to go in your mind, who do you think emerges out of those 3, or maybe someone we haven't discussed yet?
You know, I'm going to deviate off the 3 options there. I'm going to go Brett Kulak is going to have a game.
I think that's okay.
I know that he's not somebody we don't know. He's been here a while.
This doesn't mean game with points and like being one of the 3 stars, but you're just saying, yes.
Makes an impact.
Blocks 10 shots and throws
one of those.
Lays it on the line.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, this is good. I'm going to stick with Walman. I picked him to score in Game 1. I'm saying he's all over the ice. I talked about it. I'm praising him like crazy. Mm-hmm. He had so many good looks in Game 1 there. I think those looks are going to continue in Game 2. I'm expecting a goal from him. If not, another one, maybe Corey Perry. I think that's a safe.
Yeah, the worm, Mr. Stanley Cup. Do you think if Walman hits, he hits the gritty?
Oh,
a Stanley Cup. He's been saving it for this moment, eh?
Yeah, that's tough to say. I feel like just because where they are right now, a little too serious.
I don't think this team.
I don't think they'd appreciate that. Maybe
only Pink Pony Club. That's as far as they go. No grittiness.
Yes.
Right. Do you know? Are you familiar with that song, Dave?
Well, yeah, I know the song, and I know
they play it on the radio.
Yeah. Yes, I'm aware of the song and the artist.
Yes.
And it's not a new song. It's been out a couple of years.
Sure.
Fair.
Well, hey.
I didn't stick around to hear. Have the Oilers talked about where? I mean, remember the Blues with Gloria?
Yes.
Okay. Drunk Brad Hall? Yeah.
Gloria.
Have they talked about why this song?
Oh, they were asked.
When asked, Evan Bouchard said, "We're keeping that in the room."
Who was on the podium with him?
Is it Nurse?
It was Bouchard and somebody. Connor Brown?
Oh, I think you're right.
Who was it?
Did you see this when they were asked?
They were
smiling. So you can tell, like, you're a body language. You can read a body like nobody's business.
Sure.
So when they were asked, they both turned to each other, and Bouchard's always got that surprise kind of, like you kind of
like every question
in the headlights.
He's like,
but he looked at whoever was Connor Brown, like, why this song? And they're like, is there a story behind it? And then what were the words? Like, we won't.
We're going to keep that one in the room. That's what he said.
Draw your own conclusions.
Got it.
If you want.
Got it.
You don't have to, but.
No, okay. I think that.
Frederick. Yeah, that's who it was. Was it Frederick? Yeah.
Okay.
That's who it was. Yeah, thank you. Question number 2, and Shotsky Jerry already kind of in here. I don't know what this text. Aaron Rodgers doesn't know who he's playing for. Is that like an ayahuasca joke thing or something? Like he's
Could be. Yes. No, I understand. Yes.
So he's having a medical.
Yeah.
We said maybe he doesn't make the medical, but he's going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. The question is, how do you see this all playing out? Aaron Rodgers' time in Pittsburgh, and I think you had the correct and only answer when we were off air.
I think it ends badly, quickly, and it ends on the Pat McAfee show.
It all
where he comes
back to the McAfee show.
Well, everything does. It comes, or Stephen A. Smith, and he discovers that not that he can't do it, doesn't want to do it, right? Because by his words, he's had a difficult offseason.
Yeah.
There's some issues within his inner circle that he is not divulging, and nor should he. But that's the way I think this. It's like he settles in with Pittsburgh, does all the OTAs, all the stuff, and goes, you know what? I really don't want to do this anymore.
These are weird ones because it's a 1-year deal. Mm-hmm. And if I'm running a sports like an NFL franchise, for example, you can really take the long game and invest in all those things. And I know the Steelers don't really subscribe, but they want to always be fighting for a wild card.
They don't rebuild, they reload.
Sure. But I just think in terms of this reloading, I don't know. And it's not because I disagree with his play. I don't give a damn. The guy can vote however he wants or do whatever he wants. I'm just saying that baggage does tend to follow him where he goes. He's a hell of a quarterback, was a hell of a quarterback. I mean, you can compare. He was at his time, at his peak. But I question it by the Steelers because
they got DK Metcalf there, right?
Yeah.
I can't speak to what the O-line is like in Pittsburgh.
No, I'm not. I
don't know.
Steeler insider here.
No, I don't know what that looks like. But if he wants to do it, and they have put the necessary things around him to keep him upright, he could produce. I'm not suggesting, Super Bowl worthy, but if it's an itch he wants to scratch, what's the old line? Don't let them tell you that it's over. You make that decision.
But it's like I don't have to go out and adopt every dog that is up for, like, you know what I mean? Why? If I'm like, why? Probably some Steelers fans want it, some maybe don't. I don't know, but it's just. I feel like if a guy's like, I want one more kick at the can, and then like,
the Steelers have been flailing around looking for the next, right?
Yeah, but this isn't the next. Like it's one. It's a one and done. So I mean,
it's an interlude.
It may not even be one.
It's an interlude at best.
I don't know. When players want to, I hate when an organization comes. Well, we'll take you up on that bet. Hey, I think I got one more year in me. I mean, I don't know if I really want to do it or not. Allow us to be your.
Give us a number
that you experiment.
Yeah, give us a number.
I don't know. It's kind of a weird one. You'll be interesting to watch. I mean, I'm all for it. But, yeah. Thoughts on that? 780-218-9999. Super Bowl, wild card, lottery pick. Or, I guess not a lot, but you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Down the road.
Krager says, this is not the rendition of Platterpalooza I tuned in for. Come on, LT. You need to keep the good juju going. No, I don't. Nothing we do affects the Oilers at all. We've been doing things. We haven't played. What's the song with Ken Holland and the Bananas? I wasn't left with that song.
Don't buy green bananas.
Don't buy green bananas. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't buy
that's
green
Colin
bananas.
You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
How could you forget?
we were on the air. We were carrying it live. I'm sure.
Man, his pressers were just gold. It was all gold. You didn't have to cut anything out. Everything he said and
take
breathed
it as is. Just, the pauses.
Everything. Yeah. Don't eliminate the breath. Strummy says enough with the MLS talk already.
MLS. What?
That's got you. Yeah, it's got your attention.
MLS.
Major League Soccer.
Oh, or is this the Whitecaps thing? They got sick in Mexico.
Well,
is that what we're getting to?
If Strummy wants, we can get into that. Tell.
No. That's one of the headlines on .ca. Number of Whitecaps are ill.
Do we have
after? Well, I don't know, and I don't really care. So no, I just wonder where the MLS comment came from.
Strummy has a bit whenever we go anywhere but Oilers hockey.
Yes.
Get back on it. Oh, the Godfather and Troy. You remember T-Roy?
Yes.
Yeah.
T-Roy.
We'll be having Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer the week later this hour, and Orange and Blue Breakfast coming up next, and Dustin Nielson sandwiched in between the two. But question number 3, And where are we going to go here? I didn't have a
I
third
have
here.
a quick question, but this
Yes,
is
lay it on us, lay it on us. I was
this
gonna
is
dive
very,
in the
very
inbox.
different. This is like, so pick another question as well, but we just got a text from Glue Guy. He's asking if you would like a coffee, JMO.
No, I'm good, but thank you. But
of course.
He
profound
does, he
thanks.
does this every Friday.
Yes.
Oh,
That's why he's called
the glue guy.
Well, yeah. But I always say,
every good team has a glue guy.
I'm going to do the
Just so
Reed
you know.
Wilkins just no.
Yeah. What's up with
Reed
that?
always just no.
No. One
Like,
word.
no, thanks, Hagen.
No, I appreciate it.
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
Question number 3, I guess. NBA Finals. Who wins and in how many games? We didn't do this yesterday ahead of game 1, but
Well, setting aside, the last thing we've seen with Halliburton and the Pacers, I think it's still OKC's. This is the shock that they might have needed, the cold slap.
6 games.
Yeah, sure, that works. I can't see them rolling 4 straight on them, but yeah, OKC in 6. I'll take that.
780-218-9999 is the Paris Jewelers inbox. If you want to get in, we'll be getting to an orange and blue breakfast right now. Quickly going over the lineups, the injuries. CJ had a bit of a, well, not so much news, but opinion. Of course, Greer was skating for the Panthers yesterday. We'll see if anything changes there. But I mean, what you see is what you get right now for both of these rosters and both of these teams. I don't think the coaches need to be seduced into any sort of, I mean, he'll be mixing and matching maybe during the game from Kris Knoblauch and see what he can do. But these are the
events
players
of the
right
game
now.
dictate your decisions.
Yeah. No Jeff Skinner, I don't think will, but waiting in the wings.
Ready to go if called upon. Yes.
Sure.
I understand.
Orange and Blue Breakfast is brought to you by GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta area for over 50 years. GCL Diesel. Of course, you can catch Tommy with the GCL Diesel pregame show, 5 o'clock here on EST, and the postgame show coming up after tonight's game live from the Ice House. Lineups last we saw them. Once again, we did see the nuclear option at times during game 1. But you got McDavid centering RNH and Perry, Draisaitl between Kane and Kapanen, Henrique, Frederick, and Brown, and then Janmark, the 2 Swedes in the Russian line, Janmark, Arvidsson, and Podkolzin on your 4th. Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse, Kulak, Walman, Klingberg. And for the visiting Florida Panthers tonight, Barkov between Rodriguez, who was giggling like Walman during the anthem the other night. Hey, the player introductions. Well, they introduced him and the fans are booing.
Oh,
and he had a wry smile. Hey, like he was kind of
weird face.
You look. I wanted to.
That smile.
He was
well.
memeable.
It was.
You could take a picture of him like me when I
like his eye roll. Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah. So Barkov, Rodriguez, Reinhardt, Bennett, Verhaeghe, Kachuk, Lindell, Marchand, and Luosterainen. Nosek, the game 1 hero, if you will, right? With the
Yes, he was the game 1 hero.
Gadjevich and Boquist, and we will see where Greer might factor in tonight. Forsling, Ekblad, Mikola, Jones, Schmidt, and Kulikov on the back end. And, of course, starters for tonight need no introduction, Sergei Bobrovsky and Stuart Skinner. Dave,
sorry.
We're going to get into the podium physiotherapy injury report.
Yes.
It's the top one there. You can
I get to read another liner?
Cold read for you, too. Eh?
Knee pain from that nagging ACL injury, hip or shoulder pain slowing you down, back pain after long days on the job. We've got you covered, whether it's a sports injury, post-op recovery, or the wear and tear of everyday life. Our expert team is here to get you back on track. Podium Physiotherapy. Unlock the athlete in you.
Amazing. Well, Oilers, Zach Hyman is out. And for the Florida Panthers, I'd mentioned earlier, AJ Greer day-to-day. So we'll keep an eye on his status leading up to puck drop tonight. Keys to an Oiler victory tonight, gentlemen. Where you got? Dave, I'll start with you.
Like I did the last game. Stay out of the penalty box. Watch, when you're clearing the puck. Try to not have
lesson learned there.
Puck over
the
glass.
Hard way.
But again, discipline. Hard on forecheck. I know all of these are cliches, but in this case and in this series with these two teams, the way we saw game 1 play out, do it again, rinse and repeat. I know that's likely not possible.
This series now is all hockey cliche, really.
It really sets itself up for that. Yes. I mean, just go back to what we said before game 1 and just do it again.
Trev, do you have anything to add or a different route to take on that thought?
Yeah, no, that's very well said there, JMO. Weather the storm. I feel like the Panthers are going to be coming at you pretty quick, very quick, and I feel like they're going to up their antics even more so. So don't get into their game. Don't, just play your game, focus on yourself and whatnot. Matthew Tkachuk, like that's what I was saying. He was pretty quiet in game one. I think he's going to be a little bit more noticeable and trying some dirty stuff tonight. So show your veteran experience and you should be good. And as for Knoblauch, I love how he rolled out the lines. It was in the regular season, there was times where, it was Connor and Leon the last 10 minutes of every game if you were down. But this game, they were down and they were in the opposition's end and they had the third line out there and then they'd have the fourth line out there. Like I loved what Knoblauch was doing. Yeah. He was lines 1 through 4 the whole game. I loved that. I would love to see that continue in game 2.
Yeah. And again, you mentioned the Panthers will provide a push. They're a good team. I know, again, tongue-in-cheek, the Oilers got this one. It's going to be over in 4. I think they did a lot of good things in Game 1 that usually transpire throughout a series, this playoff run. It all seemed, in my eyes, happened in Game 1, which was highly encouraging. However, this isn't just a good team that hasn't been there before. This is a really good team they reside in the hot tub of the finals over the past 2 years. So
You're trying to get to their level.
Sure, yeah.
And the gap separating these two teams, right, if there is even a gap, is so slight.
The maturity and the hunger of the Oilers compared to the relaxed state, though, of the Panthers right now. It's going to be interesting how the clashes. So much of the same. You don't need to change much. I think if they come out, play hard, play fast like they were doing, like the DNA suggests, they should. Again, as I said, when Dusty made his cup prediction following Game 7 last year, there is not going to be any other team in the league with a better storyline or a more desired hunger than the Oilers. Everybody wants to win the cup. I understand that. You grow up as a kid. You want it. I get all of that. But given the events of last year, much like the Panthers the year before, you cannot tell me that a team that won it last year is going to have that slight little psychological push when it matters, more so than the Edmonton Oilers. It's just not going to happen. So play your game, play it right, play it fast, play it hard, and in the end, they should come out smelling good. Dustin Nielson will be coming up in a minute. Is he in the bullpen? No? Look at this. I bet you he requested to come on.
Let's just
share. Okay. On cue. Somebody's listening.
When you invite yourself to be a guest on your own show.
Hey, I thought
you got to hit that mark.
Dustin Schwartz's Montreal, right? Like maybe a little night out. You know what old Montreal's like.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Oh, look
at that hair. Don't bring him on yet. We'll get to a sports update. I like viewing him on our own little private.
We got this.
Oh, baby.
Oh, he's so cute.
I miss the, I
it's
like
all
when he
grown up.
slicked it back.
Yes.
The long hair. That's what I want.
Oh, yes.
Dustin Nielson coming up next, our CFL insider and host of this show. Might talk a little hockey as well.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Probably wants to dive into the NBA final. We'll go around the horn, as they say.
Joe Horn.
R.I.P. Yes. Nielson Show presented by Southford Chevrolet. Lieutenant Eric Dave Jamieson in for Dusty and YouTube Trev here with a sports update for Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge.
The Edmonton Oilers and Florida Panthers hit the ice for Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final later tonight at 6. You can join Tom Gazzola live at the Canadian Ice House for the GCL Diesel pre- and post-game show starting at 5 right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Tyrese Halliburton wins it for the Pacers in Game 1 of the NBA Finals with 0.3 seconds left on the clock. 111-110 is the score. Game 2 goes tomorrow night. The Edmonton Stingers are in action later tonight in Montreal to take on the Alliance. This game going at 6. Week 1 of the CFL got underway last night. The Saskatchewan Roughriders beat the Redblacks 31-26. Roughriders QB Trevor Harris completed 19 of 26 passes for 277 yards and 2 touchdown throws in the game. The Toronto Argonauts are in Montreal for their first games of the season. Kickoff for this one going at 5:30. And the Elks take the field for Game 1 of their season Saturday night at BC Place. Round 2 of the Canadian Open is underway. Cameron Champ alone at the top, -3 through 11, while Canadian Taylor Pendrith tied for 12th. He is even on the day. In the NFL, Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers agree to a 1-year contract pending a physical. This will be Aaron Rodgers' 21st season in the NFL, and that's a ball game as the Toronto Blue Jays take the series with a 9-1 win over the Phillies. The Blue Jays now hit the road to take on the Twins later today, first pitch at 6:10. The Edmonton Riverhawks complete the sweep against the Victoria Harbour Cats with the 7-1 win. The Hawks will hit the mound later today as they welcome in the Bellingham Bells, first pitch going at 7:05. The Sports Update presented by Selly's Sports Bar and Lounge with wall-to-wall TVs, daily food and drink specials. It's the place to be for every Oilers game. Every day is game day at Selly's Sports Bar and Lounge. I'm YouTube Trev. You're up to date.
We built this Smitty. We built this Smitty on greasy eagles. Built this Smitty. We built this Smitty on greasy eagles. Everybody knows him. Best mullet in the league. Probably know that he never gets fatigued. Face first in the corner, scoring every night. So many young kids, Smitty's in the spotlight. He may not be a captain, but Smitty sure plays a role. So just remember, we built this Smitty. This Smitty on greasy gold. We built this Smitty. We built this Smitty on greasy gold. Built this Smitty. We built this Smitty on greasy.
All right, 8:36 on the Nielson Show, Friday Game 2 edition. No Dustin Nielson, Dave Jamieson in for the week. Once again, thank you, Dave, for your time and your expertise, your knowledge, your wisdom, all of that. YouTube Trev, you heard there on the Sports Update for Selly's Nielson Show presented by South Fort Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot. Some good deals on for June. For more info, www.southfortchevrolet.com and the Nielson Show and EST and all the shows presented by our great presenter, Play Alberta, which you can get the Dustin Nielson Early Bird, which is still loading. We'll get more on that coming up next with our next guest. But as promised as well, a little bit of a ticket giveaway later in the show, so stay tuned for that. Let's bring him in here, the host, the proprietor, the boss. We call him the boss.
The proprietor.
Dustin Nielson, live from Montreal. Dustin, how is... First, let's take it back. The golf trip...
Yeah, it was good. Golf trip's fine. It's always a good time. I actually played pretty well. So, yeah, it was good. Then I drove to Calgary, flew to Montreal yesterday. And, yeah, we watched the game last night. And then I know it's like Montreal, it's crazy. But we watched the game in Eddie's hotel room, and then I went to bed. So, got to be ready. I mean, it's Friday Night Football. You got to be responsible here. So, pretty excited.
You're just saying that because Dave's in the room, right? You don't want to get
No. I understand where Dusty's coming from. You got to trust me.
Dave helped me become an adult. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So, now with that being said, after the game tonight, we will visit Montreal. So,
yes,
yeah,
good.
That's true.
You deserve it. Kick up the heels a bit. Just quickly, thoughts on the opener last night?
Great game. I thought it was a highly entertaining game. I thought the Redblacks were going to come back and win it, but Drew Brown, after he got sacked and kind of looked like he banged up his hip, horrible decision-making down the stretch. I mean, you can't get sacked for a 15-yard loss with a minute left when you're down by 5. So I didn't like his decision-making late, but he's got a ton of weapons. Thought Geno Lewis fit in really well there. And if Trevor Harris stays healthy, man, he's going to be in the MOP conversation. We always know that's the case with Trevor Harris. So I thought it was a highly entertaining Thursday nighter to open it up. And tonight's game between the Argos and Alouettes should be just as good.
Dust, I'd like your take on where you see the CFL at the quarterback position now, and I'm trying to think. I mean, I know there are young players, and that's a good thing, dotted around the league. But this is the best this 9-team league has been in a while at this position. Fair?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I wouldn't put it up there with the days of when we were rolling out Dunnigan and Tracy Ham and Doug Flutie and those guys, but it's the best it's been in a while. You got guys who've been Grey Cup champions recently as backups, right? Like Arbuckle's going to start tonight, but you got Cody Fajardo. You've got a bunch of guys in places, even Jake Mayer. I mean, Jake Mayer is a guy who started multiple years. He's a backup this year as well. And then, like you said, Dave, I mean, there's some young guys, lots of expectations for Trey Ford. I'd expect Nathan Rourke to have a great bounce back season. Davis Alexander, they're very excited about with the Montreal Alouettes. We saw Drew Brown last night. I mean, they don't run the ball at all in Ottawa. I thought maybe they would a little bit more with Stanback last night, but they didn't. So that's a guy who could take a run at 4,500 or 5,000 yards. And then Vernon Adams in Calgary. I mean, it's I didn't even mention Bo Levi, who had a huge year last year and has a ton of weapons in Hamilton. So quarterback, like we talk about ownership kind of being stable around the league right now, and there will be injuries that pop up. Like we said, Drew Brown kind of banged up his hip last night. But, I think it's in a pretty good spot right now.
Dustin Nielson, he'll have the call tonight. Montreal, Alouettes, Argonauts, and some new production qualities to look for as well in the CFL and TSN broadcast. You gave me, I cannot wait.
I gave you a sneak peek.
I cannot.
It looks good.
You did, because it got me emotional, Dave. I'll tell you that. So it's going to be great. Over to the hockey, though, quickly here, and news across the bow here. Rams fan texting in. Pete DeBoer fired in Dallas. First, the Oilers break the Flames, then they break the Canucks. Now they have broken Dallas. Who's next? Dusty, to sum up, if you want to touch on the DeBoer thing, I think we all know where that kind of stemmed from. And of course, the comments and such. But Oilers, Panthers, game 1 Wednesday. I'm sure you digested that. Your thoughts on that and thoughts heading into tonight?
Yeah, first of all, I guess he should have left Jake Ottinger in. I mean, that's a tough look for Pete DeBoer. He looked like a guy who thought he might get fired the way he handled that entire situation. So he's gone to 6 of the last 7 conference finals, but's been fired 3 times over that stretch. So somebody will grab him, they'll recycle him again, he'll get him to a conference final, he'll win game 7s, and then he'll get eliminated. I mean, that's basically what he's done for the last 15 years. As for game 1, that was a hell of a hockey game. My God, that was a great game. I'll just say it. I mean, if the Oilers win tonight, gentleman's sweep is a full-blown reality here, probably. It's going to be a great game tonight. You might get Florida's best punch that they have tonight. I might not come at home if they go down 2-0. Tonight might be the game where you could really break their hearts. So I don't know, it's just all business, even after game 1. I mean, it's just all business. It's been all business with this team, the entire time. And I know you mentioned, the Oilers, they've broken the Canucks, they've broken the Flames. Now they've broken the Stars. And that's why I said it's kind of impressive that the Kings just keep coming back for another beating. They just sort of keep rolling it back, same core, over and over again. Now, they have to hire Kenny Holland. So we'll see what happens on that front too. But it's the Oilers conference right now. And, man, tonight's game is going to be awesome. I'll be calling the game at the same time. But my producer, Eddie, he's we're going to try to avoid this. Yeah, we're going to try to avoid the score and then stay off our phones and then come back to the hotel after and watch the game. So fingers crossed we can do that.
It'll be a fun night. Somebody asks, what's the over-under for consumed Smirnoff ices later tonight by you, Dusty? I don't know if you want to set that.
0. I don't touch Smirnoff ices, man.
Smirnoff.
You know what I did dial back on the golf trip a little bit? I had a couple Bud Light Limes on the golf trip, which I had not had in quite some time. And, in the right afternoon, those things still hit pretty good.
Yeah. Are you guys too young for Zima beer? Was the
Zima?
Was the Zima not available?
I've never. It's never touched my lips.
Oh.
But NBA Finals quickly. Thoughts on that?
Halliburton, man, he's a freak. And the weird thing is, and we were watching that last night too. We flipped over when it got close. He only had 14 points last night. Mm-hmm. He hit 6 shots, but he is just that guy at closing time. Yeah. And I still think OKC is going to win this title, but my God, does that make for a series that nobody thought was going to be interesting? All of a sudden, it's interesting for at least up until game 3 or 4, which is nice.
Any parting words, Dustin? We got to move on here. We got to cut you short here on your own show. We got Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer.
I see beer ready to go. I mean, I'll just get bumped here. Dave, thank you very much for filling in, man.
Thank you. Always good.
Yeah, and Oilers in 5, hey? Shall we?
Yeah. Gentlemen.
Good day. A good day for some
good day to you.
So,
good, sir.
Yeah.
Good day.
Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot, boys.
Have a good call. Dustin Nielson, of course, CFL and TSN. Friday Night Football tonight from Montreal. Alouettes and Argonauts should be a dandy as the Elks will close out week 1 tomorrow night, second half of a doubleheader in BC, which also, I mean, these are all Bo Levi back in Calgary for the first half of that one. So storylines abound week 1 in the Canadian Football League. All right, let's get to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the week right now. And Trev, you got the music? Because I got to go grab the drinks. So we'll just play the tune quickly and then we'll bring our guests in. right, 8:45. It is time for Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. It will be a bit of a shorter segment this week as we have one product to sample. But
it's a good product to sample.
Oh, no, it's good, and
like
it's
they
different.
all are,
it's different. It's nice when every week IPA this and IPA that, and it's all good. But it is nice to get a little variety, as is with life. And this week we are going with Beer of the Week. Jeff, and I want to make your, I want to get your name right. Your last name pronunciation, please. Demanic, perfect. And I see you do have a bit of a jersey on, do you? Hey, we get a little look? There you go. Okay, I saw on the team. Yeah, I saw on the thing. Of course, Hittin' Fairways Radler, produced in Calgary. You're joining today from Olds, I do believe. I was wondering. We have had guests on before who. Some are fans of the other team, but it's good to see you repping the colors. You've already passed the first test. So yes. Welcome to the show, Jeff.
Absolutely. Yeah, longtime fan. Born in Edmonton. You know, my uncle's been a season ticket holder since '79. So
okay, perfect. You get up to many games then during this season, or any of the playoff run, or anything?
I went to one Saturday afternoon game against Buffalo in January. Took my daughter, who's 7, which was a lot of fun. That was her first game. And then went to game 3 against Dallas, that Sunday afternoon game with my cousin.
Oh, yeah, the matinee.
Great time. Yeah, we were singing Pink Pony Club and everything.
I love it. It's Hittin' Fairways Premium Radler. Just quickly, can you give us an overview? What do you guys do? How is your place different from, I was saying, we usually have beers. It's pretty standard brewery beers. Do you guys do different things? This is it. Tell us a little bit about your operation.
This is it. Yeah, it's it's I'm a brewer. I brewed for a few different breweries in Alberta and BC. I was approached by these guys to make a recipe for a radler that was going to be brewed at a brewery in Calgary, at a contract brewery down there. So. This is it. All the proceeds are going to Parkinson's research and support in Alberta.
Great cause. Really they do great work in the province.
Yeah,
and what's the deal story for the Sobeys deal this week in the Flyer for the these come in a 6 or 12 pack? It's a case of 12, correct?
It's a 12 pack. Yeah, that's correct.
Now we're just going to drink them out of the cans, if that's okay, because I find the can.
It's a very cool logo too.
Did you come up with this, or who stenciled this?
I did not, and I'm not sure exactly where that came from, but yeah, it's kind of fun. He's having a good time. He's one of the 19th holes, so on his way.
Is this this was your idea to come up with the Radler type of thing, or was this
Not exactly. No, that was through this Due West Beverages. I came up with the recipe.
Oh, okay.
And gave that to the contract brewer, and then from there they kind of make their own tweaks, and here we are, and then we end up with this product. Yeah.
Yeah, a little interesting.
This is nice.
A little different than what we usually. Yeah. Cheers, boys. Okay. Cheers, Jeff. I know you're probably sampling as well there in Olds. Cheers to the Oilers tonight, game 2.
Yes, sir.
And I mentioned earlier too, for most, this is going to be a long day. A bit of a marathon, if you will. A couple of these on the golf course is nice, but maybe today to get started too can kind of get you going where you need to go.
Absolutely, yeah. 3.5% alcohol. It's really, it's kind of a beer first with a bit of grapefruit flavor. It's a light lager with a bit of grapefruit flavor. Sometimes you kind of get a variety of radlers. Some are very much grapefruit forward.
Yeah.
This is more to be like a beer with some grapefruit in the background. It's kind of a neat recipe. The history behind the radler, it translates, as far as I know, to cyclist in German.
Yeah, right.
So there was, the story goes that there was a bar owner or whatever that was on a path of a famous bike trail or popular bike trail outside. And he kind of invented it for thirsty bikers, like a grapefruit soda mixed with a light lager.
I love it, man. This is good stuff. And again, a little bit of something different and good on a Game 2 Friday to get you started. Jeff, once again, the deal is for the 12-pack Hittin' Fairways premium radler at Sobeys and Safeway Liquor again.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And that deal price again, that's am I reading this $25.99? Is that the
I believe so, yeah.
Love it. Okay, Jeff, thank you so much, man. Enjoy tonight.
That's great work.
Best of luck. It's
a great product.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you for the gifts, and take care of yourself. Thanks for joining the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys.
There it is. Jeff, Hittin' Fairways Premium Radler. Something a little different than we normally do with Beer of the Week, but a welcome change in that sense.
Proceeds to Parkinson's research and the work they do in this province. Parkinson's, Alberta, based right here at the Buchanan Center, just across the street from Commonwealth Stadium, and they do tremendous work.
Save $7 as well. Hittin' Fairways, $22.99 for our Calgary listeners as well down there. So good stuff. Love it. Let's get into the wrap right now for William Huff. If you want your place to look as good as ours, WilliamHuff.com. In business since 1952, so you know they're incredible what they do. WilliamHuff.com. I promised a little bit of a giveaway courtesy our friends at Play Alberta. Let's do that right now. It'll be a text to win contest as we have been gifted some tickets, and those tickets are for, and I think you've got this, Dave. We took the time for you to write this down. We might as well have you let the public know what it's about here.
Yes, 2 tickets to the Edmonton Elks regular season home opener, and that is July 19th against the
June 19th.
Or June 19th. Sorry, June 19th against the Montreal Alouettes.
That is going to be a good game, as they all are in the CFL, when you have a small league like this with a lot of parity this year, I would assume.
I add this as a bit of a coda. It is a rematch of the 2005 Grey Cup victory for the Edmonton Eskimos. So this is the 10-year anniversary. Is it 10 or 20? 20. Yeah, 20. The 20-year there's not a reunion.
No,
but 20-year anniversary of the Edmonton Eskimos Grey Cup victory, double overtime in Vancouver over Montreal.
All the teams take a turn, but these two had a bit of a rivalry going for a good long while there.
Since the 50s.
Sure, but I mean a modern day.
Modern day.
So June 19th, that is a Thursday. Alouettes, Elks, Commonwealth. 2 tickets to that. Text in Elks right now. 780-218-9999. We will put the entries into a hat. And yes, people are saying ticket me, but you can also do beer me, $50 to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. We're giving it all away right now in the Paris Jewelers inbox.
And that'll be the debut of their new home jerseys.
See them right there live and in person. Gager will be slinging dogs and chicken sandwiches. And the tailgate, again, alive and well. I don't know if you...
There's other changes around the stadium.
Okay.
More food options.
Okay.
I'll be there in my capacity as an alumni member.
I see you the odd time.
Yes.
We don't stop and chat either. We just.
Well, I was working when we saw each other, but yes, it's a tip of the hat. I got it. And
and you don't want to cross those paths.
No.
I also find the mural of Dusty and I, the big, we're standing there. You can get, that's fun.
Yes, it is.
So Beer Me, 780-218-9999, and Elks, 780-218-9999. Pair of tickets to that home opener against the Owls, and $50 to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer on the line. We'll get that loaded up there in the Paris Jewelers inbox. But gentlemen, for the wrap, what did we learn on the show today? You can take some time to think. Not too long, though. Pete DeBoer's fired. I mean, that's the news.
Yeah, that's
morning.
breaking news.
Yeah.
You should lead your sports with that,
Well,
Trev.
he's done now.
It's all done now. It came just after, and I was like,
that can
we're
happen.
We're trying to get a little journalism into Trev, and so understand how the whole process works. That'd be breaking news.
What's
so it goes
the
first.
leaderboard at the Canadian Open? What are we looking at there right now? Can you give us an updated glance at that?
It was.
We learned that you're going to name your firstborn Thorbjorn.
Yes.
I learned that Jake Walman is having an outsized impact on the Oilers in the playoffs, but also coming out of Game 1. I know that seems obvious, but you hear the words spoken about him by others.
The streets are talking right now,
awesome.
right?
Yeah.
He's
game
my favorite
respects
player
game.
right now.
Yeah.
And Walman's got game.
It's my favorite player right now, I think.
Okay.
Cameron Champ, alone at the top.
Alone at the
-3
top.
through 13.
Okay.
I learned I'll be FaceTiming JMO tonight, the Moss Pit.
No, you will not.
I'll give you that number.
I think I have his number.
And I'll give Keith your number as well, so he can send you audio messages at all hours of the morning. Yeah.
I'm very looking forward to this. This is going to be awesome.
Well, I mean, I learned that you will be out on the town tonight. We just don't know where, Trev, and that's good.
Neither do I.
Yeah, and that's how you want to keep it. You want to keep it a little loose. You don't want to have any hard commitments where you have to meet deadlines and times and all this stuff. So, anybody else going out? Once again, kind of the menu of the day. You probably want to get downtown to the zone there earlier than later. But 4:00, it's Glorious Sons and Triumph. And then it'll be the GCL Diesel pre- and post-game show. Tom Gazzola live from the Ice House, Ice District, leading up to puck drop at 6-ish or just thereafter. Text of the day, can't be beat. Nobody rose to the occasion. I'm going with this. Vance Van Vandervan. Trev, if you got the clip ready, you know where I'm going. When you lose track of your tall, skinny friend at the bar, then spot him in the corner making out with Renee.
This is like an anaconda taking down a pig.
That's you.
That's me.
Yeah, it's funny because you're on the show this week, so we incorporated the clip.
It's funny.
Take us home on a Friday. It's funny, right? Like, yeah.
Big hat.
So that's text of the day. Triple V, you are off to A&W. $20 to A&W will be waiting here at the station for you. Gentlemen, what are we watching tonight? Seems like an odd question, but it's one we have to ask through this segment. It's an exercise.
You caught me going the other way, and I was like,
you can pivot.
Rest assured, people, it'll be game 2 that I'll be focused on, but I might just sort of, if maybe it gets slow or the panel comes on, I might kick over to a little CFL.
This is a purity test right now.
Yes, it is. So I may have failed that test. Of course.
How dare you?
Yeah.
Canadian Open is going to be fun to watch during the day. Have that on a bit, I guess, as you say. Kind of, I like it on a low volume. You just have a little bit of a nap. And Trev, again, we don't know. We know what you will be watching. We just don't know where you'll be watching it.
Yeah, I am so pumped for tonight's game. I am so pumped. I cannot wait. So, yes, I'll be watching game 2. It's going to be a good one. I love it.
It's a nervelessness excitement. You shouldn't have any
not nearly as nervous.
No, you shouldn't be nervous.
It's a free and
I was
loose.
extremely nervous for game 1.
Carefree.
Now I'm pumped.
Let the players get nervous. I mean, and the anxiety and nerves are a good thing,
not
right?
for us.
Yeah.
In the athletic pursuit.
For sure. 780-218-9999. Once again, Elks tickets. Pair of Elks, Alouettes. June 19th. That's a Thursday. The home opener. Fresh new look at the new silks. The gold back with the green on the uniforms. Everybody's loving it.
As
Looks
God
good.
intended.
Yeah. The EE as Elks starts with an E. So it didn't have to go away anyways. Like I think people are just cluing in, wait a minute. We can still use EE.
No antlers or salad tongs or whatever those things were on the crab claws. Yeah.
I said this in the hangout yesterday too. I still don't mind the elk head logo. I think it's clean. I think it's crisp. and it can be used as a secondary. You can use it as a patch.
Well, that's what their plan
I know
is.
you're not too hot on this. And I didn't even mind the antler helmet. I just thought it was too thin. They were too thin.
Those antlers were from the Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
God, those were lame.
You needed them thick or something.
Oh, it's
a
gotta-
different design. I'm not saying those should be the helmets. I just said I didn't mind the idea. The execution was.
Hey guys, have you seen what the Philadelphia Eagles wear? We should do the same, but with antlers. No,
have
you
you seen
shouldn't.
the Packers? I mean, it's just
yeah.
it's all
enough.
We're all plagiarizing it to some point.
Just win.
Just win, baby.
Win.
You excited for that Madden movie with Nick Cage?
You know what?
Seen that? The mock-ups?
Oddly, I am.
That's going to be great.
Yes.
Yeah. He looks exactly like him. The pants and the everything.
Christian Bale, right?
Sure.
Zal Davis?
Yeah.
Lots of love in the nasty chat for you, J-Mo.
Oh, back
Lots
at
of
you.
love.
Nasties.
I think we take a moment to acknowledge and, again, thank you for everything.
I'm going to pull on one of these.
Everything.
Premium Rattlers. Yes.
Yeah.
Everything.
That was not necessary, but, and again, you'll be seeing a little peppering in of Jameson during the summer months here while Dusty's away for Sia Volunteers and maybe a little tablespoon of Will Fraser, if you will. Maybe. I know some people.
Just a little paprika.
When Dusty was sick there in the fall, and we had the month of the Will Fraser show, people were, you can't OD on Will Fraser. You can have a sniff or a snort.
You can get
but
right close to ODing and then whoosh.
You
back.
don't
You're
want,
fine.
you kind of too much of a good thing. That's what they say.
Yeah.
780-218-9999. Once again, I want to get everybody involved in this. Beer me. That's $50 to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. Should have said dear me for the Elks thing. Hey, that would have been.
Dear me.
But then it'd be too kind of convenient. Elks. Text in Elks for those Elks tickets. 780-218-9999. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody today. Kris Johnston for taking his time. How about that play, hey? What a power play. Renting an entire hotel ahead of time.
I had not thought of that.
To
but
ensure
that is
that
a veteran move where you go, we could be going here, and here, and I'm going to get the Ramada Inn and Suites, and I'm going to.
Nothing against the DoubleTree
Not
down
at
here,
all.
but shuttle bus be damned for CJ. He's walking around getting.
He wants to be at the epicenter.
Well, you have to be.
Yes.
It's kind of nice you're out of the mix, but you want to be in the mix. That's where you want to be.
Come on.
You don't want to be complaining that you can't sleep or whatever the case is. CJ, we thank him for his time. Always a great, informative, and opinionated guest. Wayne's for the Crack Pack Summit Series. Check that out. The collectible series, of course, in town this weekend. Our fine friends at the Italian Center shop. If you're looking for some food for the game tonight, pick it up at the Italian Center. And if you're looking for tickets, fansfirst.ca. That's the fan zone. We had that at 7:30. Congratulations to Jesse. He was the Mr. Mike's winner this
Jesse
morning.
the Body.
He got it through.
Yeah.
We don't ask how many. We just ask how much.
What tripped him up the last one? He pulled up short there. Steelers. Aaron Rodgers' team.
He's not a football.
No.
He guessed correctly at the CFL starting last night, which was, you got two options. He chose the right one.
I don't like football. Yeah, that's his. Yes.
And Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. Jeff, gracious enough to share these Hitting Fairways Premium Rattlers.
One
It is your
more for the
Sobeys
camera.
and Safeway Liquor Rattler of the week, I guess would be this week. So, great week, gentlemen. Thank you so much for helping me do this and keep this show at least where it
You're
needs
a
to go.
wonderful
We're
host.
keeping it
Thank
at
you.
the speed limit
Yes.
between the lines. YouTube, Trev, have a great time tonight. Be safe. But,
Yes.
have
Be
fun
safe.
first, then be safe. You don't,
You know what's up.
You'll be fine. It's all
It'll be good.
Dave Jamieson, thank you again. We will
Thanks,
see you
J-Mo.
soon.
Yes. Look forward to it, guys.
And for Dustin Nielson joining us on his show later this morning, I'm Lieutenant Eric. Have a great day. Hangout coming up next. Enjoy the day leading into tonight. And have a great weekend as well. Hangout next. Keep it on autoplay on YouTube. And we'll talk to you Monday.